Okay. Oh, there's Leela.
Here we
Hey,
go. Hi, Kitten.
everyone.
Oh, that was not.
That's not her. Hey,
And Glenda,
hey,
hello.
Glenda.
And Marcus.
Hello.
And Abby. And
Hey,
Deborah.
wait.
And Claire.
Oh my God. Yes, confirm.
Maria.
Gotcha. Hey, Eriska.
And
Hey.
Erska. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Claire. Oh, Gabby. Hey. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while.
Good to
Hey,
see Gabby
Kristen.
and the
Be here.
kids.
Yeah.
Although I have to leave an hour early, I'll just say, or a half hour early. I'll just say that now. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
We're so
Likewise.
happy to
Good
be
to
your
see
comic.
you.
Yeah. And Merry Christmas if we don't get an
Yeah.
opportunity, and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
guys as well.
Thank you. Um, all right.
There's a
Amazing.
rod.
There is a possibility we're both feeling slightly under the weather, so there's a possibility that we might be cutting short today anyway. Um,
But we really, really wanted to come on
yeah.
and show off our magnificent Christmas sweaters.
I feel like we're very overdressed for the occasion.
No. Oh, and Patty, hi. And
Hello.
Alina.
Hey.
Alina, you're on our
Hello.
list for the first one because you've been having your hand up twice in the last two meetings, and
Yeah.
when we finally got to you, you had to leave. So you're the first one up.
And we also have, I had told Caroline
Caroline.
if she's here, I don't think she's here yet, but when she gets here, because she has to leave after the first hour. Um, so she also gets an early slot.
Yeah.
If she's here.
Thank you so much for everyone for coming. It's really, really good to see all of you
It is.
here at the last inquiry group of the year.
Yeah, it's crazy at
I cannot
2025
believe that
already.
the year is almost over. It's gone so quick.
It has.
It's gone so quick.
Yeah.
So, but here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. So for next year,
Yes.
we have cancelled our
January.
January
Retreat.
deep immersion retreat because there was not enough people signing up for it. And Angelo, he has a retreat in the same period, and it's just silly. We don't want people to choose, and we don't want. There's also a lot of people going to Angelo's that would like to come to ours, so it's much better that we wait. So it was supposed to be the only retreat in January. Yeah, no, sorry, in 26. And because we're quite full for the rest of the year, but we will see maybe in autumn, but we're not sure.
No.
We're not sure. It was the only time we had space to do a retreat.
But
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see. We're considering other options.
And that means that the next inquiry group is going to be January 13th.
Yes.
So
originally we weren't going to have one in January because there would be the retreat. So this did free us up to have another inquiry group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And then another thing that we really, really need your help with our videos. YouTube has done something about the algorithm that is the weirdest thing. So our videos are not recommended to people that would, watch stuff like what we're making. But I can see in the algorithm that my videos or our videos on the Awakening curriculum, people are coming from watching the Dallas Cowboys football and advertising for Costco. They have sales. There was something about a hearing with Robert Kennedy, and there was a guy that came from woodwork. So the YouTube is not recommending our video and our type of video for people that would normally watch it. It's people that are sitting and watching other stuff, and then it's just random popping up. And I can also see it's been recommended in a lot of languages that wouldn't watch our videos because we don't have the subtitles in many different languages. And the reason is that if our videos are not engaged with, then YouTube just take it and put it in and see, basically just throw it at whomever and see what sticks. So we really need you guys to like videos, to comment under the video, share your own experience. It just needs to be more than 7 words, then it counts. Make sure you like every single video that we make, because then people that are watching the same videos that you guys are watching will get the recommendation of that video. Otherwise, it's going to Costco and the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So that would be a huge help. For example, the video that came up yesterday, that is about when we have a negative pattern in our lives, why we keep being drawn to that negative pattern, which is super, super relevant for a lot of people. And we basically have no views on the video at all, because they have this new thing with the algorithm that is just being thrown and at whomever. And then it's what we're talking about is not for everyone. It is a very small niche of people that are interested in what we're talking about. And even in what we're talking about is an even smaller in niche, the awakening niche that is quite small. We are sitting in a little corner with the things we're talking about. So it would really, really help a lot if you would like the videos and write a comment and share. That would be so, so helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to address, Terrence asked, does that mean that we're going to have more one-to-one availability in January? Probably, possibly. I think so.
I don't think so.
Well, I think it's possible. Yeah,
so.
I haven't opened up the schedule. I am definitely doing one-to-ones next year. I'm just not exactly sure how it's going to look. We are visiting Pernilla's family in March, so we have some time that's going to be definitely blocked out. But I'm also I wrote a book, like a practical awakening book.
Todd has written a book.
No poetry. And hurrah! And I'm in the editing stage of that. And so it's kind of a waiting to see what is going to take priority over January and February, whether I'm going to be using it to.
He's definitely going to edit the book, and he's because editing a book of 500 pages, it's not just reading it through once.
Yeah,
the poetry book, we've read it through how many times?
Yeah,
I think I read it 4 times. You read it 17 or something like that. So it's a lot of reading through to find, and then because we self-publish via Amazon, then having them send, and then they send the book back, and then we can see that the formatting is all wrong, that a chapter starts in the middle of the page and then need to edit again and then have a new book sent. And so we're going to spend our time with that. So I don't think Todd is going to have as many sessions as he thinks he's going to have.
I'm trying to be optimistic, because I've had a lot of people reach out recently about wanting sessions, and I do want to get to everybody, as well as all the regular people. So definitely by late spring, early summer, and through the rest of the year, there will definitely be sessions opened again. The first half of the year, it's going to be kind of hit or miss. So I will let everybody know. Also, to that extent, if you want to write to me at unfetteredmindfulness@gmail.com, let me know if you would like to be on a mailing list, because we're realizing we really need to start a mailing list for retreats and things like that, because we have so many people who are like regular followers of us on Discord and who come to retreats and stuff, who did not even know that we had a retreat coming in January. So we need to get better at communication. So if you could email at unfetteredmindfulness@gmail.com if you would like to join a mailing list. We are, over the course of next year, going to start piling.
And I just want to say, you guys know us. We're not going to bombard you with emails, because we won't have time to writing you emails. So you will get, the max is an email once a month going like, oh, by the way, last month we did. That
also,
would be the max.
and also
So if you're interested in that, then send Todd an email. And also, if you're interested in one-to-ones, then send him an email as well.
Yeah.
And then when he has time in between book editing, he's very optimistic when it comes to book editing, and more like realistic when it comes to that.
Yeah. So we'll see. Okay.
We'll see.
Anyway, enough of all that.
Yeah.
I think
that's enough for us. But we're here today, and next time is the 13th of January.
Yes. All right. So I see Marcus already has a hand up. If I can't remember, I think we might actually, yeah, I do see some new people here today. So just as a rundown for those who are new, it's a very easy, open sort of a forum. You can raise your hand if you have questions, comments, want clarification on anything, want to go deep into working with a particular issue that's been something in your practice or something that's been coming up for you. All of this obviously is being recorded. It does go publicly on YouTube. However, if there's something that you really don't want to be public, just ask us and we can pause the recording and it won't be up for everybody.
And also, excuse me, a practical thing. If you're new here and you're not on Discord and you would like to be on Discord, we need to speak with you. So it's just you raising your hand and going like, I'm new, and then we can just, have a talk about where you are, and then we've met you, and then we can let you into Discord, because we're very protective of our hive mind. We have an amazing hive mind where you can be guided by all of the participants in there. We emphasize a lot that we are not the ones sitting with all the truth and know something that everybody else don't know. We are part of it's
a wonderful community.
Part of a whole where everybody has useful information for everyone. So we're very protective of our community. So if you would like to join Discord, you have to. We are the gatekeepers, so you have to speak with us.
Go on, say hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Olena, you have had your hand up the last two times, where you logged off before we ever had a chance to speak with you. Is it still relevant, or
do you have anything
to have anything?
Honestly, I don't remember what it was I had my hands up for. Life just keeps changing, so my questions and my experiences are, and I don't retain a whole lot of it. It just goes by and it's done. Okay. But just as a little sort of a report on some awareness that has occurred. I have mentioned in the past that I've had struggle with drinking beer or wine, alcohol in the late afternoon. It's just a certain period of time that it happens. And I earlier this month, I joined Recovery 2.0 with Tommy Rosen, who is a yoga teacher and conducts recovery from all kinds of addictions. And I would say that my primary, quote, problem is codependence. And but anyway, so I decided to not drink on a daily basis. So I'm not putting myself into a corner and requiring, a black and white thinking, but that if I go to a social event, that I'll have a drink, I'll have a glass of wine, but not make it so difficult that if I fall short, then I'm gonna, beat myself up. Yeah. But anyway, I joined a program called Endings and Beginnings. So it's like clearing out this year and preparing to set up a new year of practices and awarenesses. And one of the things that we did was to look back at the beginning of this year, 2025, and look at the first 3 months and what was going on and what kind of issues I was working with then. And of course, I think I've mentioned before that I've struggled with my connection with Stephen. And I came to the clear realization that I was complicit, if not the cause of, this whole disconnect years ago, because of my passive-aggressive nature. That instead of just being clear and straightforward asking for what I need, more affection, more connection, that I would use those other behaviors that tended to not be very effective. In fact, it would have the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
So it was a sweet and clear awareness, and it seemed to have dissolved, that awareness alone seemed to have dissolved any of the sort of residual resentment and blame and shame,
Mm.
explaining,
Yeah.
complaining,
Yeah.
all of that. So and on top of that awareness, I've also recommitted to a daily morning practice, which I had done in the past, and it was really valuable first thing in the morning. But I had gotten into the very lazy habit of just get my coffee and sit down and start going through emails and texts and things like that, and then the day is off and gone. Um, and it's that again has been super effective. And plus, no longer engaging in those emails and texts and social media events regarding the hideous political situation that's
Mm.
going on. So
Yeah.
a lot of things have shifted, as well as I had really strong decline into depression going on there for a while. And I can really feel the cloud lifting. And it's just an interesting awareness how my thoughts and where I send my energy, what I put my energy into, and what I let go of and release
Mm.
has made a huge difference. And I attribute a lot of it to these videos that you've been doing and your teachings, and I continue to do the morning exercises that you have
Nice.
taught.
Oh, I love
And
that.
yeah,
I
so
love that so much. We actually had a conversation yesterday about that, that it is so magical when you first of all realize that there's no there's no need for me to be on my case for anything. Everything is just causes and conditions. I can just drop that. And who is it that is doing wrong or doing right anyway? If that is understood, and then the second one is whatever then is coming up, it's okay. It's okay. And then you can just allow things to arise. You can look at it and it can just be dropped. And it doesn't hold any power anymore. It is
mhm,
such, and then exactly you can have an insight like you had. Oh wow, I have been passive aggressive always because I have not dared to ask to have my needs met.
mhm,
Wow. And the moment you realize there's no self-flagellation, there is no, judgment or being on your case about it. It's just an insight that is immediately understood and everything just drops. And then you're setting yourself free and you're setting Stephen free. And from now on,
mhm.
you just ask to have your needs met.
Mm.
And that's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that, Olina.
That's
So
beautiful.
yeah,
good to hear. So good to
yeah.
hear.
It's a wonderful release for the end of the year and
Yeah.
preparation for the sense of a new year and a new experience and a new
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love that so much.
Wonderful way to start 2026
Yeah,
fresh.
really, really is.
Yeah.
Really is.
Uh,
Thank you so much, Alina. Thank you for
thank
sharing.
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So glad you got to talk this time. I almost unpinned us. Okay, we got Marcus. Thank you for being
Yes.
patient, Marcus.
Yeah. Thank you for
And
that.
and just I don't think she's gotten here yet. But Caroline, if she does appear at some point, or if you are here and I just haven't seen you, we also did say you could speak in the first hour. So
Yeah, if
yeah.
if
Hey,
she's here,
Marcus.
she can go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
yeah.
yeah.
don't see her
He's
yet,
not
but
here yet. So
Okay. All right. Well,
thank you.
I did want to say just starting off that I think because of the changing YouTube algorithm, there
yeah.
are going to be people walking around in Costco waking up because of this.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Dallas Cowboys. The whole stadium is going to awaken.
Gotta wake up.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, um, so last time, I talked about itches.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about another body thing because with me, it just keeps coming back to the body, which I think is my body is doing such strange things, which I think is a result of being disassociated from it
Yeah.
for close to 60 years. And then all of a sudden, it has permission
Yeah.
to express itself. And so it's doing it in ways that are really surprising
Yeah.
to me, and
Yeah.
it's nice. I'm enjoying learning that, the lesson that I'm not in control in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But about 2 years ago, just experimenting with things, I tried a variant of TM.
Mhm.
Wasn't the official one, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'd never tried a mantra meditation before. And almost instantly, I started getting really intense kriyas.
Mm.
For anyone who doesn't know that term, it's, my body would spasm
Yeah.
and jerk. It didn't, I don't know very much about Kundalini, but it didn't seem to be at least classically that because it wasn't in the spine at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it was like mostly shoulders and arms
Yeah.
flailing out, head jerking side to side, and
Joint.
also
Yeah.
just spasms of laughter
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that what I identify with didn't find anything funny, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
body there was somebody found something funny. Um,
Completely.
right.
Yeah.
So what I discovered is that I only stayed with the TM thing for a few weeks, but as soon as I guess opened that door to the body, the Kriyas just followed me to
Yeah.
every other kind of meditation that I did, including ones I'd done for years without experiencing that. Um, and then what I eventually came to understand is the more like one pointed I get, like the more concentrated, the more they act up.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
when the more sort of open I am, the less
Yeah.
they do. And the main practice I have is just open body awareness.
Yeah.
And the Kriyas kind of come and go, but they're not there the whole time. Recently, I decided to try the Moo koan.
Mhm.
And I'm just attracted to that for some reason. So I started doing it, and it was the first time in a while I tried sort of a one-pointed thing again. And the Kriyas have just come back with a vengeance, to the point that it can be, I can sit for an hour and it's one huge jerk a second, like the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
time. Um, uh, and I, it's not distressing to me, but it's confusing because, in some traditions, if you go like the Zen tradition, they're like, well, it's just like a thought or anything else. So, just acknowledge it and return
Yeah.
to whatever. But it's so persistent.
Mhm.
It's like this. It's like really hard to just go, oh, I'll just kind of ignore that, whatever. It's like my entire body is jerking and spasming constantly. And I know in other traditions, and I don't know as well, but I do know in other traditions, they're thought of as more sort of important and more meaningful. Um, so I just the approach I've taken to this is kind of my general approach is just keep experimenting and trying things and see what happens. But this has been kind of the most confusing thing. And if I do really want, if I'm having a session where I really want to stay single pointed and I
Mhm.
kind of can't get out of that goal mindset, then they're just frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop already. This is supposed to be about moo or whatever
Yeah.
it's about. And you know, it feels like there's another personality very often. It's like, will you kids just stop it with the jerk for just a few minutes?
It,
Anyway,
it
I
it's
was
it's
just
really funny
interested
because
in feedback.
um what you describe are two things. The first thing is that from a body therapeutic point of view, we store trauma in our ligaments, tendon, and fascias, and
Mhm.
to me, it sounds like when you finally relax, your body can express itself the way that it needs to, and the body needs to experience and express, and you're just along for the ride. It enjoy it. It's when the body has done what it needs to do, it will stop, and then that will be it. So there's nothing wrong with it at all. The other thing is that I'm fascinated by what you say, that it's like there's something that is like interrupting, like something that is like a kid. Can you just be quiet that you have with your body? Because you have aphantasia, right? You don't have the internal thought. What you're describing with your body is what the rest of us have with our thoughts while we meditate. So while we meditate, we have the other part of us that is going blah 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 all the time. And sometimes it's like, could you just be quiet? So what we have with our minds, you with aphantasia experience with your body. So the solution for you is the same as I would say to anybody who's trying to meditate, that have that inner voice that keeps interrupting and reminding about shopping and Christmas gifts and did you turn off and all of that. When our mind does that, it's just noticing that diversion that happens, that the mind, the other part of the mind, which is still the same thing, that diversion that is happening because something is happening while we meditate, and then something unexpected happen, and that is enough for the mind to latch onto it, for the ego, for the selfing to latch onto and going like, ooh, that shouldn't be like that. I should be sitting, not thinking, or I should be sitting, not jerking, But and that is actually the whole how do you say that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole deal of it. No matter if you have aphantasia or not.
And I would say also, it's funny you brought it up. I actually was in a one-to-one with somebody yesterday, and I was doing a little guided meditation with them, and they were having a very similar kind of thing. And what I have found is useful for it because like Pernilla was saying, it's not really something that's a problem to get rid of. I see it more as an opportunity. And so what I would suggest, it's one thing when the mind says, okay, today I'm going to practice moo and sit with that. Well, okay, but maybe you have, better things to do in this meditation session than what the mind thought was going to be the best option. So to that extent, what I like to do when you're feeling when you're having the experience where the kind of spontaneous movements are happening, if you can, because like what you described to begin with seems really spot on, that when you're focused on something that they tend to get more intense. And I'm curious if you've noticed two things. One, what is the situation of like tension in the body while you're doing the meditation? How much residual tension are you holding? How much, resistance is there in the body to the practice, to the being in this body, in this life, all of that? And then the second question is, have you tried actually taking the point of, instead of the object of your meditation being the breath or the mantra or whatever else, make it the central point of the sensation where that jerk or twitch seems to be originating from?
So the great questions. The first question is, I do have a sense that there is tension. The more single pointed I get, the more tension there is. That's the tension of concentration. I don't know that I can pinpoint exactly where in the body it is because that's not my focus when I'm doing it. But there is a big sense that I'm, that kind of like, when you're screwing up your eyes to try to see something really close, obviously not doing that because it's in the mind. That kind of feeling of scrunching myself down a little bit. And I don't think I know how to do a single pointed thing without. I've thought before there must be a way to do this and but in a very relaxed way, but I don't think I found my way to be both single pointed and relaxed in that sense. So what you're saying feels right, that it's like something is reacting to that contracted sort of thing. And then um, I don't know that I can. They're so quick. They're so
Mm.
quick that where they're coming from in the body, aside from the specific part that jerks, if
Yeah.
there's that's why the I'm kind of jealous in a sense of like the Kundalini people because they seem to always know like, oh, it's coming up through my spine. And if there's like a central hub of where all this energy is coming from, but if my shoulder suddenly jerks versus like my head does that, it feels like two different things. Like if there were demons inside me, like there'd be the
Yeah.
shoulder demon and the head demon or something. Um, I I find myself, I mean, this is all stories, I know, but I find myself going back and forth between feeling like this is kind of a restatement of what I said earlier, feeling like the Kriyas are, like you said, they're just like thoughts.
Yeah.
Um, but at other times feeling like, no, they're actually the awakened part of me.
Mhm.
You know, it's easy to feel that when there's like laughter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, something within me that I'm not identifying with is having a great time
Yeah.
and is free in a way that I'm not anyway. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
confusing in that sense.
well, it's hard when we're like granting personality to these different
Yeah.
aspects of the behavior, which, it's very easy to like anthropomorphize every part of our experience. And I think it's actually a little bit probably more true to life and also a bit more conducive to our practice to just take it as automation. Be like, okay, this is interesting. Notice that the body, for whatever reason, that has no, you know, conscious storyline attributed to it, just does this thing when it's put in this particular situation and in this particular context. Um, as far as finding where the root of the thing is, it's not so much that it's a matter of importance to find like there is one central, demonic hub of the of the energy. But what I might suggest is doing as a practice when you're sitting there, do a body scan, but you're not just doing sort of an internal. I'm not exactly sure how that works for you being aphantasian and Auralia, but whatever it's like for you to feel the body as you go down, be aware of not just the sort of superficial feeling of like the energy buzz of the body as you're moving through it, but see if you can like inhabit those particular body parts as you're going through, if you know what I mean. And see if when you get to some, if that in itself triggers a jerk. Because there might be regions, I know I can do that. Like there are still parts there. If I, focus attention on one part of the chest or one part of the back or something, there will just be like a spontaneous, spasm. And if you can just like gently hold the attention in that place. And then what I really like to do, and I recommend this all the time to people, is letting go. And so it's basically it's like the Shinzen Young talks about auto move. And there are other practices and other traditions where you're just allowing the body to move completely autonomously with no, and so basically holding attention on this particular muscle or this particular spot in the chest or this particular part of the neck or the shoulder. If you just hold the attention there and other than that, let the entire rest of the body do what it wants to do and just ride with it and just flow with it. See, that can just let go of so many other things and bring up so many other things. You don't need to name them. You don't need to know what it's about. It's just a way of allowing the body to express. Um, Going back to why I originally also asked about the tension and stuff that's in the body, you might find as you're doing, if you're trying to say do like a mantra meditation or something, and you feel that this is really intrusive on the practice, and you don't want to go the route of tuning into the sensations and then riding them out and writhing all over the floor, you can see if you can take some deep breaths and relax the nervous system. You're relaxing the body and you're still feeling whatever is there, but notice if you can feel any of that tension that's tensed up in the body. Because like you said, even though, you're not squinting to see something in front of you, we do often exhibit those same muscular contractions when we're focusing on anything, be it external or internal. So notice if you are doing that, is that actually serving any purpose whatsoever? Is it, is your attention really being held by the muscle contraction in the chest and behind the eyes, or is that just an unnecessary, holdover from some other behavior? And then exactly what you said, it is possible to have gentle one-pointed focus or one-pointed attention without having to tense up. And it's really a practice where you find your point of focus, whether it's a mantra or whatever else, and notice that tension that you're holding in the body that seems to be holding me on this thing. And then basically you're questioning without words, is this really necessary? So you hold your attention on the sound of the mantra, take a deep breath, and intentionally let those muscles relax. Intentionally relax the face. Intentionally relax the jaw. Intentionally relax all those things which seem to be propping you up, and holding your attention on that, and notice that you can still hear the sound of the mantra. You can still repeat the sound of the mantra without any of those other unnecessary tensions being there. And then you can start to actually have that, like you talked about, the wide open body practice, that can even still be there with focused attention on one thing. You can be in a state of utter relaxation and still single pointed concentration. Just takes practice.
That's great. Thank you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And feel better too.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. It's so lovely seeing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to emphasize, I love everything you said, but I don't know if I said it clearly enough, but I just want to emphasize that when we have those twitches in the body, it's impossible to find out what it's about, because in our bodily development that we have had, for example, attention in the hips can be anywhere from when you started to turn from back to stomach and stomach to back, or when you started to pull yourself up to crawl, or when you started to be able to walk, or when you started to be able to jump. At any of those times, if anything happened, it could be a sound that startled you. It could be, you fell over and hit yourself, or it could be like anything. Attention would have happened in your body in that area that you were developing at that point. And that is what is being released now when you have calm in you in the way that Todd just described. So for you to know why your hip, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. The body just needs to be allowed to experience and express, like what you said with the auto movement. It's basically that ugly dance, dance ugly in your living room and allow the body to move the way that it needs to move and twitch the way that it needs to twitch. And then see where that takes you.
Yeah, so just let go of trying to
Exactly.
understand or
Trying to
tell
understand,
stories
you
about.
can't. Yeah, we can't. We're not that smart.
Yeah. We don't have access
No,
to
we don't
all
have
the
access to the information.
Yeah, so we're working with the deck is stacked against us.
Yeah.
There's no way to access that information that is long lost to the ages.
Yeah. So good
Great.
seeing you, Marcus.
Thank you so
Good to
much.
see you
Happy
guys.
holidays.
Happy
Love
holidays.
you.
Happy holidays.
Seeing you. Bye.
Did I say that in Danish?
You did say that in Danish.
Did.
You
God
did.
nytår.
You said it half in Danish. You actually said God New Year, which sounds very religious in a way.
No, godt nytår.
So actually I saw Carolyn came and
Yeah,
I
you
did say
go back one.
did you see her?
Yeah, I can see her there.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay, we did say that we would speak to you ahead of time because you had to leave after an hour.
And the reason we are bumping Caroline if she wants to is that she has we've been writing a lot back and forth, and it's just easier to talk. She needs to have to be here.
Yeah, right. You need your camera on.
Okay, let's take Terrence until Caroline.
Maybe not actually here at the moment.
Okay, let's take Terrence.
Terrence.
So.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, that's nice to meet you.
Good.
sorry, I'm pretty nervous.
It's okay.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
No reason to be. It's a very friendly space.
Thank you. So this is my first time here, but I sorry, it's hard to talk. I'm very much in my body now,
Mm.
which I wasn't ever before, and it's been a long uh, process, and um, sorry, it's weird. I'm like, I think I'm peaking at the um, well, I guess in short, by repeatedly, my practice has basically been I just put all my attention into body sensations
Mm.
to the exclusion of everything else. And after several years of doing that, for the first time, my mind started to quiet down. And definitely, I now see a very direct correlation between how active the mind is and how much you're feeling into the body. And if I if I could put all my attention in the body, which I'm not, I my mind can go almost completely blank,
Mm.
which it never has before. And then I can start to get a sense of what you non-duality people are talking about.
Yeah.
Feeling into that. And I definitely like um, when I forgot his name, the first guy was talking. I was like,
Marcus?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just keep doing that. This is you 2 years later. I couldn't feel anything in my body at all before. And and now I did, and then I did like qigong and acupuncture. So like when I started acupuncture, I couldn't even feel it when you put the needles. Now every needle is excruciating. I cringe in advance from the pain. And so like everything is my body sensitivity is so high. It scared me too. It's like, if I stub my toe, it hurts 10 times more than it used to. And um but I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I can't remember anything. And and um um oh, I wanted to say uh I didn't mean when I want to do your intensive. And I feel like it's really weird because I know I'm talking to Patillo for the first time, but I feel like I know you so well already.
Yeah.
Um, um, in fact, my mantra is like, "Damn you, Pernilla!" You kept calling me out just a little too accurately for this passive aggressive bully, and I mean,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
everything. Yeah. Damn you. Vanilla, when's your next satsang? No. Uh, so yeah. And um so yeah, I had a lot yeah, I did have questions. So I guess I had questions about the I guess the body issue. Like, so now, I mean, there's just so much charge in the body that I'm not functional.
Yeah.
Um, and and I guess I feel like I'm physically suffering, but for the first time, I'm not really psychologically suffering
That's the thing.
anywhere as close. There's like an inverse
Yeah,
correlation
absolutely.
here. I mean, and then everything you and like I saw all the when I saw the Ted Hawkins interview. I was like, oh, finally, about time
Yeah.
somebody talked about soiled underpants.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
welcome
Yeah.
to my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've
But
gone through all of
yeah.
that, and I think like I know I want to do I know you can help. I mean, even I told Todd, even all this non-duality. I wish you were my damn fucking psychiatrist. I wish you were my friend 30 years ago. Just you telling me that shit would have saved me decades of suffering.
But Terence, there's also the part that we need to remember that when we have shut down and not felt anything in our bodies, and we have had a very active mental life, it's part of a protection.
Mm.
It's part of a survival mechanism when we turn off to the body and we just become a head on a stick and we don't feel our bodies at all. So for you to now be in a place where you can actually allow the body to experience pain and you are calming yourself and going like, it's okay. When I get acupuncture, I feel how I'm tensing up with pain, but I'm with me. I'm relaxing and I'm breathing. I'm right here. You're safe. And you keep reassuring yourself. The more you do that, the more the body feels safe in experiencing and expressing pain, which means that you don't need to be on guard with your mind all the time. You don't need to be like that with your mind all the time, because if pain happens, you know that in the moment you got your back. You're going to reassure yourself. You're going to calm yourself. You're going to be there for yourself. So you don't need to be on guard all the time. So what I'm saying is that when you have had a life where you had to be on guard and reading the room and being careful like that, you shut off to the body, because we can't take both. We can't be overloaded in our mind and overloaded physically as well. We need to cut something off. Um, and that is probably what happened, where you didn't feel your body, and now you're in a place where you can feel your body, where you reassure yourself that whatever happens, you can calm yourself. You can be here for yourself. So I understand what you have there. Dang it, I wish I have heard this 30 years ago, but you might not have been where you are now 30 years ago.
Mm.
You might not have been able to hear the message and do the exercises that you do now, because you didn't have the emotional and psychological maturity that you do now.
Uh, what I have now is definitely not emotional nor psychological maturity. So, but, um, yeah, actually, even have to. I don't even have to get that far in the talking to my, because it just. So I think my physical stuff is pretty exceptionally um, intense, and so my like my problem is yeah, if I hold attention in the body, the mind can stay quiet, but the body never calms down.
No.
And the only way it ever calms down if I start getting lost in thought again.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and in the beginning, when I first realized that, it really bothered me because I did all this training to put attention in the body, and now
Yeah.
now I'm intentionally have to take it out because it will not stop as long as
No.
attention in the body. I won't, my breath rate will not come down. And the only way my breath rate starts to slow is if this thing turns on again and I start thinking about something.
Yeah.
And so it's the opposite direction that I want to be going, but I have no choice because I can't be out of breath for this. And I'm physically tired. It's really physically demanding.
Absolutely.
And I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted all the time. And yeah, and I don't sleep, and like now.
Yeah.
And then and then it's hard to, and then the thoughts are slow, and it's really like all this stuff. Yeah, it really,
Yeah, but
I can also understand
I
that.
completely understand what you're talking. You have a fear reaction in your body. It's because of fear that there's a deep,
Yeah,
deep-seated fear in you. So the moment you are in your body, your entire alarm system starts because of, causes and conditions. So whatever trained your body that being in the body is dangerous. So the moment you start to try to be in your body, you feel danger, you feel fear, and your entire body is reacting with it. And the only way that you can seek solace is going back into your mind, away from the body. So I really want to compliment you for working with it and going into your body, just taking short journeys into the body. Notice that when you feel fear, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Your body is reacting with fear. It does not mean that there's fear around you right now. You're opening up for old memories that your body has experienced. And that is what you're opening up for. That is what you're experiencing. So you don't have to push yourself, but you can reassure yourself that when you are in your body and you start to be out of breath and you start to feel fear coming up like it is, reassure yourself, I'm safe. I'm safe. It's
I'm good.
okay. It's okay. I got myself.
It's okay.
It's okay, Terrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything you called, and you said. My mom said I used to vomit
Yeah.
to get her attention, which I felt was so untrue. But I've had this lot. For the past year, I've been puking bucket.
It's not that. It's not for attention. It's fear. It's fear. You're reacting with fear. It's
But
because if
my
in
is
your
pretty
experience from a very early age, being in the body was dangerous, and that's why you have withdrawn. So now when you start to come back to the body, all of the fear comes back up, but it's an immature fear. It's the fear of a child. And you can be your parent in this moment and hold yourself when you vomit and saying, it's okay. It's okay. I got your back. You're safe now. You're away from whatever harmed you. You're away from that. You're here with you now. So you are
I don't
reassured.
have time to do that when I need to vomit. I just
No, it's okay. But
It's
you can
okay.
still vomit.
You can
It's
still
okay.
just
vomit.
You still
vomit.
vomit.
You
Vomit's
Yeah.
okay.
vomit
Yeah.
away. It's completely fine. Poop your pants. It's completely fine. It's your body that's reacting. And it's what happens when we start to open up for trauma that the body has experienced.
And I get all this shit too.
That was what Marcus was talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Marcus was talking about. The twitches and the jerks.
Yeah.
It's trauma that is hidden in the body. And the moment you make contact with your body, the body starts to express what has happened. So don't try to understand it or anything. Just allow it to happen and keep reassuring yourself. Keep telling yourself, Terrence, it's okay. I am okay. I am okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. Keep reassuring yourself about that. Imagine yourself being a child and you're comforting that child.
And don't lose sight of the environment
It already went blank. So
Yeah.
I can't even do that. I can't even do the "you're okay" thing. It's just
It's okay.
blank, and I'm just here spazzing. But
But even that is okay.
Here's a practical note. I need to go to the dentist, and I have a fear, and I can't go. And probably before I would have just white knuckled and made myself go to the dentist. Although the last time I was at the dentist, I was so in my body, I cried on the dentist chair, and now I need to go fix my teeth because I can barely eat. I'm not ready to go.
It's okay.
So I haven't been go. I didn't go to the to I didn't go to the dentist.
Breathe. Breathe. Do you feel how shallow your breath is right now? Breathe deeply. See if you can breathe deeply.
Ah, but quiet. Weird. Weird. This is weird.
It's not. It's not. It's how it works. It's how it works.
I know. I know. I knew you got. I knew you got help me, and I know I'm making a you, me. And I need to make a me that really needs to be helped by you. Damn you, Pernilla.
But Terrence, you are helping you. You know, you have written to Todd a lot, and we know a lot of things. It's if somebody's sitting and thinking, shouldn't we, suggest professional help? We're there. We have done that.
Yeah, I did that 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anybody else who's sitting and watching, I know that it can be a lot watching a body that is twitching like that. I have 2 interviews with Ted where he talks about it as well, where he was experiencing the same. And it was the same that Marcus was talking about, having those twitches in the body. And it is normal. There is nothing wrong in this. This is what we're trying to hold back when we are socialized and we are, presentable and we are, looking good and we are all of that. It's so brave to come on camera and talking about these things because this is the part that nobody wants to see or experience. But it is part of trauma work. Feeling the body and allowing to experience and express what the body needs to experience and express. This is it. This is how it looks. And it's not polished and it's not for Hallmark and it's not, it's ugly and it's because it's fear. It's fear that is locked into the body. It's guilt and shame that is locked into the body that is being allowed to be expressed. And this is how it looks. Yeah. But it's nothing dangerous and it's nothing that is wrong or anything. It's just all trauma that is being allowed to be expressed. So if you experience anything similar that Terrence is experiencing, it's okay. It's okay. It's part of it. It's just part of the awakening that not many people talk about because we don't want to talk about that.
And I see a lot of comments coming in of other people who are all experiencing similar things.
Yeah. So you're not alone, Terrence. You're not alone, Terrence. Yeah, you're not alone.
You know, when I saw the first Ted Hawkins interview, my nickname's Ted, and I was wearing a T-shirt that said Ted on the back. Ted, that my nephew gave me, and there were other weird synchronicities with the Ted Hawkins thing. I can't remember them now. I don't remember anything. It's yeah. I mean all that other stuff. It's so weird that like I'm like having this and then it's quiet. It's quiet in here and it's so fucking weird.
Yeah. The one thing that I would like for you to focus on is your breathing. Because when you keep maintaining that high vocal shallow breathing that you have, that is indicating to the brain that there's danger.
Yeah.
Where if you breathe deeply or if you breathe like you're sleeping, you're indicating to the brain that you're safe. And it's such a cheat sheet. It's such a shortcut for the body to start to release hormones that are making you feel safe and cared for. And that is just with your breath. And that goes for all of you, that all of you can at any point make deep breaths where you really bring your full focus into your breath. That is deep, deep breaths, either with an inhalation, a pause, an exhalation, and a pause, or just deep inhalation and deep exhalation, or you can breathe like you're sleeping.
I would just say also, if you can make sure that the exhalation is longer than the inhalation, that sends the signal. It's like a sigh. It's like a sigh of relaxation. it immediately starts to relax the nervous system. So if you make sure that your exhalations are longer than the inhalations, and I also find I really like when you're inhaling, fill the belly first, feel the whole chest expand, feel the full torso filling with air, and then as you exhale, do it in the opposite direction. So the chest releases, and then the belly releases all of its air, and you just feel this complete emptying out. And then allow the inhalation to just happen naturally. And having that complete full awareness of breath from inhalation through the expansion of the belly to the exhalation, very slow and relaxed with the contraction of the belly and contraction of the chest. You release you bring yourself back into the presence of what's here right now, and out of, if you're somebody who's lost in anxious mind thoughts, it brings you out of that. And if it's something where the body is reacting out of a sense of fear, it is also, like Pernilla said, is giving these indications that, okay, everything is okay. Things are actually safe right now. And go ahead,
No.
you can finish it. Well, and the other thing is that it's also really important when you're doing this, especially when the body is reacting like that, to keep reinforcing, like Pernilla said, the fact that you are actually safe, that what is showing up is not an indication of actual danger. It's just a bodily reaction, a bodily memory to something that happened a long time ago. So the more information you can bring in that reinforces the fact that you are safe right now, the better. So looking around you and noticing the calm and the stability in the room, noticing the breath, noticing parts of the body which feel calm and at ease and peaceful, anything that lets you get a sense of stability and safety reinforces back into the system that, okay, actually, there is safety. There might be twitching. There might be, weird body movements that are just doing their things, but there's also this absolute safety around. And even if there's an urge to throw up, there's still safety all around you. So we're reinforcing that no matter what is going on, the body is not, it's not telling you a truth that there is absolutely danger around you, that you are, absolutely inherently unsafe in some way. This is just a manifestation of something moving through the body, and it has no relationship to the reality of the moment being any particular way.
Yeah, I tried to do the safety thing, except I did have this I do get worried because a couple years ago, while feeling into my abdomen, um, I actually started bleeding, and I had uh, uh, it was pretty serious. I ended up in the hospital, and I had to have a blood transfusion, and so, and that's just. But I've had I've had a lot of I've had gut surgery, so I think I have an unusual amount of physical surgical trauma in the gut. Um, so that was my concern, like, because I watch a lot of Angelo, which I guess is where I found you, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the body can take it." I was like, "Oh no, I don't. I'm not sure about that, Angelo." I did have a blood transfusion uh, out of this, and just by feeling into the body, it can make itself bleed. And actually, my Qigong instructor said, "Yeah, you can give yourself a hernia just from these extra. The contractions can be that strong that you can actually physically rip yourself open."
And
And so
it's all
so that's what
yeah.
worry I.
Yeah, I understand. And it's always, I mean, we're sitting here and you are there. You need to take care of yourself and protect yourself. If you need to find a body therapist, I can warmly recommend you to do that. That can help you with all the things you're going through in your body. And if you're finding a psychotherapist, see if you can find somebody that also have any kind of embodiment in it as well, whom can help you, because it all of this, you don't have to do it alone. There are so many well-educated people out there that can help you.
Uh, yeah. I tried like all the somatic therapy, and actually, I sort of came across my like the fascia unwinding thing. So I have a huge sensitivity. Like I can feel the individual strand. It's like spools, and I'm like, how come this isn't
Yeah.
actually, you know? And then when I had the Kundalini thing, I'm like, oh no, it is a cold. Like I literally get swirling sensations in my spine, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
So I get all that. But and there have been a lot of physical changes. Oh, that was my question. So I've always had a deviated septum that
Mhm.
I always have more airflow on the right nostril than the left, and that's been changed. So even the physical structure and of my nasal passages have changed. I've been always been really flat-footed, and I have super wide feet, and I'm the only one in my family like that. And when I was doing this, now I realized, oh, I don't have naturally wide feet. My feet are actually deformed, and my pinky toe, almost all, I guess as far as I can remember, I've never really been able to move it, and it's been locked in position. And I assumed that was bone because it's just so hard. And now I realize, oh my God, it's actually muscle,
Yeah.
and that's released. And now I can totally move my toe.
Yeah.
And so I've had really weird, and the way my flesh hangs from the skin, and the way that my flesh is hanging. I mean, I've had really dramatic
Yeah.
physiological changes doing this, and it's kind of frightening because I can't go to a Western medical doctor because they won't know, and really, and even in this path nobody really knows how all this stuff works either. Like I really
Mhm.
feel, I mean, like I can feel the fascia stuff. I mean, it's a very mechanical process. Like it's like you
Yeah.
feel very anatomical. Like I should be getting medical advice. How come medical science doesn't
Yeah.
understand this much better? It's not given what they can do. And then
But if you find a body therapist that is working with it, they will understand what it is that is going on, and they will be able
okay,
to see on your body, what exercises that would be really good for you to do, and so I can only recommend that. But it
So,
was
do you know, like in specific, like where do you live? Like,
Manila.
okay, yeah, I don't know what's available for different
no,
types
Yeah.
of
no, I
body
don't.
But
therapy.
I'm
I have
sorry.
a feeling if I took my shirt and you looked at how everything, like you would know. I mean, it's very obvious where all the contractions are.
Yeah.
I need. I mean, I hope
But
you
there,
guys
but
have
there,
time to
there's
do
so
the
many
intensive with me.
things online today.
Yeah,
I'm also thinking with TRE, and there's so many things online.
yeah, yeah.
Which I
I've
think
already done that. I've already done them all.
yeah, yeah.
And
But it was
it's
really
not.
good. It was really good talking to you.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
so much. And
yeah,
I'll write to you. And I
Me
hope
too.
we can do an intensive soon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
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 we'll be in touch. Yeah, like I said, our 26 is fairly up in the air, but we'll see how it's all starting to come together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so
Right.
happy New Year,
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
It's good seeing you face to
Thank
face.
you.
yeah. It was good meeting you.
Yes,
Thank you
Good
for
thanks,
meeting
being
you,
Todd.
Taryn. Good
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
okay.
So it's Ryan, but I can see Caroline is here.
Yeah, but I think
Oh,
it's it's bad because I don't know last names. Is this are we were sorry. Uh, let me.
Caroline, are you the Caroline that has written us
Talking to
that you are the one?
okay.
Okay,
Is
Ryan and Ikram and Ellie, we just take Caroline first because we've had so many back and forth on email.
hello.
I'm so sorry. I've got like this is really weird timing. I've got my robot vacuum just coming in my room, and so I want to shut the door, but it needs to come in first. It's a real first world problem. You go.
It really is.
It's such
Oh
a
my
first world
goodness, my
problem.
robot Hoover.
Ah,
Intrusive
got like that.
robot.
I've been wrestling with it today, and it's the first time it's come in. I've been messing with the app, and I'm like, just come and vacuum my room. Yeah. Anyway, so
So funny.
hi,
Hello.
hi. Um, I don't know if I have a question, because like after speaking with Todd, he was like, come on and like talk. So I'm like, okay. So I'm kind of interested in like you guys leading it. Although now I'm saying that, I feel like I have questions. Like what's coming up for me is like I have situational experiences of like things will come up, but I know that they are very transient. So it's almost like pointless going, oh, this is my problem. Because I'm like, as soon as I can express it and experience it and feel everything I need to feel, it's just a thing of the past. And it makes it feel like there's this real moving target. And it's like, as soon as I talk about it, it's almost that's what I needed. But like, not even just talking about it in a like a venting kind of way, but in a like, oh, that's the issue. And then I'm like, oh, now I know how to be with it, or like it almost like educates me on where I need to be with it. And so I guess I kind of don't know what to do with that. And I feel very comfortable. I feel comfortable with the ebbs and flows that happen, and like that sort of like rising up of like suffering in a sense. But no, I feel fine with it. Not at the time, I don't. I feel like I got through a really big fundamental issue, which I was speaking to Todd about. And I guess I don't need to talk about that now because I felt it. And I was like, I cried and I grieved it. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm grieving now. I'm grieving I'm grieving a fantasy. But that's fine because it felt really significant to me. And then I moved through it. And then it's like, I don't know what to do. I kind of feel at the whims of suffering arising in order to do the work rather than being able to be proactive because I don't know what's next. Like, I don't know. All I know how to do, theory, is when it comes up, is I've got to be with it somehow. And I know I kind of don't move that away. But like, I know, like, it's like, I'm not doing anything anyway, so it's fine. That's fine. It just would get done. It will be experienced.
Caroline,
yeah.
you're in your head.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So what you wrote, what you wrote us about and talked about.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure, I can talk about it. Yeah.
Because
okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's
I was reading it to Pernilla this morning, and I think there is stuff there that's still
there's
worth
definitely
being,
stuff there.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay. In all your messages, there's like a red thread in all of it.
Okay, good.
So I think instead of talking around the bush,
okay.
How about we just talk about the bush?
Okay. So yeah, that was a nice sort of introduction, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a beautiful diversion, and I really compliment you for it. But I think looking at time and all of that, I think we should get to it.
You're right. Yeah. Wow. Really don't want to talk about it. Okay, that's a good
But
sign.
it's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't. We are back on the 13th of Jan. We are back and we can talk about it then.
Oh, I do want to talk about it. I just didn't know I didn't, which I'm like, okay, fine. So I feel that my fund, like since so young, like almost as far back as my memory goes, like cognitively, I suppose, I've just always idolized and desired a loving relationship. Oh, yeah, I can feel it now. And it's kind of torment because I'm chasing it all the time, or I feel like I'm chasing it, and it just doesn't transpire. And I guess it's getting a bit scary now because, well, in terms of my goals, like I've always wanted to have a family, and I've just wanted to be in that like family unit with a partner. And, you know, I'm 35 now, which isn't like, I'm not like, it's not time's up, but the pressure, I guess, is mounting, and I feel afraid. Not afraid. I feel pressured, that I feel like there's a pressure, and I I don't I don't think it's real either. I think that's what I'm like grappling with, is like, this is all made up, and that's fine. Yeah, but I want to not feel that anyway. Like, if I don't have a family, if none of that works out, that's in theory okay. I don't feel happy about that, but I'm like, that's kind of okay. But the thing that's really painful is this persistent drive to get it, and this like cycle of like highs and lows, and like, oh, there's a glimmer of hope, and then it's like the hope is dashed, and then it's like, maybe it's this, and it does mean that I compromise on who I'll date, and I can be in situations, and I won't go into too much, I'll stick with the feeling of it. It's like I just feel tormented by the chasing, basically. And it's like, I know now that's the seeker, right? Like, that is the seeking.
Yeah.
And so it feels like it's this futile thing anyway. It's not going to give me what I want. But that's the pain, that's the suffering. Like, it's not even the outcome necessarily. It's like that just clawing and trying to make reality be what I want it to be, and feeling like I can, and then I can't, and then I can, then I can't. And like, I want to mold, there's two parts where I want the future to be this way. So I now need to position myself and make that happen. And so my position in the present is not right, because of the future I want. It's like, this isn't going to tee up. The future's now not going to tee up to how I want it to be. But simultaneously, I also am not in the present. Like, I'd have a different present moment, in a sense. Already have the family. I'd already have that stuff now. So there's two parts where it's like, I don't have it now, so I can work towards it, but I also want to have it right now. So my reality is not okay. So there's some dynamics to it. And it's that, I think that's it. It's like, it's just feeling that, like, there's some dread that sometimes happens, and this like doom. And then I haven't got the way I want right now, so I just have to make it happen next. Like, I've got to tee the future up instead. It's almost like I can't force reality to be what I want it right now, but the alternative is I can force the future to. Don't know why, because it's not really ever happened like that.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to make it happen.
I like that in the end of your last email, you had said that you were going back to the 4 and 5 work, because it's really a fundamental crux of this, is that there is something now which is clearly not seen as sufficient. And so the future is constantly being put out as a possibility that, but if only I have this thing in the future, then everything's going to be okay. It's problematic from a whole variety of reasons, one of which is because we can never live in the future. We can only live in the present. And we have to find a way to be equanimous with any present that is here, because we don't know how it's going to unfold. The other particularly problematic issue of this one want in itself is that it involves the need for other people to be part of it, to make it happen. I mean, on the purely relative side of things, we could say, okay, if you want a family, with kids, you could adopt, you could use a donor. There are options available for having a kid without having the relationship attached to it. But it doesn't sound like it's just about having kids. It's more of this ideal of a package of the loving husband and the perfect family with the kids and all of that. And what's important is, what is the idea that that is going to provide you that you don't have now? What makes that the goal, the optimal reality for the future?
Um, closeness, and like the end of loneliness, I think. Yeah, it's like a, because there's like an intimacy that you have in that small knit unit that it's not possible to get anywhere else. Like, well, that's not true, but that's what I think. Yeah, that's the story anyway. But it's like that the real, just, skin to skin contact, like that just, it's just the closeness, I think. That's it. Like, I really want that closeness.
But again, there's something under that again, because skin to skin contact, very, very easy to get. So it's not that. Just like having a family,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
very,
true.
very easy to get children. You can have children, you can be
True.
pregnant tomorrow, and
True.
depending on ovulation and all that, but you can
Yeah,
basically
theoretically.
have twins next year if you want to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not that. And then you
Yeah.
say skin to skin contact, but that is super easy to go. You can have that in half an hour. So it's not that. So
Yeah.
you need to be even more specific. What is it you're
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about? And what Todd was trying to point to, or pointed to, is that what is it that you think what is it you think is here now that you don't want, that is not going to be there when you have found the perfect partner? What is lying on his shoulders that he's going to help you with getting rid of, that you're not getting rid of on your own, but he is supposed to do that for you? And then can you see how absolutely unfair it is to put that on anyone's shoulders?
Yeah.
I usually ask, because you're not the first one that I have spoken with about this issue, I usually ask the question, would you fall for you? Would you look at you and going, that is a catch? Fucking hell, I want to marry her. And if you have that, no, not really, then sort that out first.
I don't have that. No, it's not no. Yeah, I actually feel like I am a good catch, in the sense, like I like who I am, if I'm anyone, that,
Yeah, no,
that
yeah,
side.
we're using words right now, but
Yeah, words.
Yeah, but one of the things that we wrote to you was that part about autonomy, about you having enough in you, that you don't need anybody in your life to make you happy, because you make you happy. That is on you.
Yeah.
Just like if you get a partner, you're not there to make him happy. He is there to make him happy. And he's making himself happy, and you're making you happy, and you do that right next to one another.
Yeah. So theoretically, nothing could change.
Nothing will change.
Even that loneliness that you have doesn't get extinguished by having another person there. That loneliness, ironically, doesn't have to do with a lack of another person. It has to do with something else inside.
Yeah.
And that is going to stay there. I mean, it sounds like you have been in relationships which weren't so great, and you have probably had experiences where you felt lonely being with somebody else.
Yeah, okay. So then it's just that they were just not the right person because the
And,
other
Exactly.
person,
which is
Yeah.
which is not true,
but
because
that's the chasing. It's like,
exactly
yeah,
wherever you go, there you are. So if
yeah,
you feel lonely in you now, you will feel lonely with a partner. You cannot place that responsibility on another person. There's nobody who was born who has the sole purpose of make Caroline feeling fulfilled
yeah,
except you. It's not
yeah,
on anybody's shoulders, it's on your shoulders. So
yeah,
it's really finding out what is it you want and make sure that you do that now, because if you don't do it now, it won't happen in a relationship.
yeah. I think it's about the support. I want someone to really like just support me,
You
which is kind of
support you.
selfish.
You support you.
But that's, yeah.
You got your back. Are you the one that are standing up for you in situations where you know that you are saying yes, but you actually want to say no? Would it be nice to have somebody standing and going like, nope, Caroline is not doing that? Because then start doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more security. I don't feel like I can give myself, which I feel like if I had another person there, I would have that. It's like it's like
But
a
again,
unit.
it's a lot to put on another person, that another person is supposed to make you feel safe.
Yeah.
Are there specific types of security? Is it like physical security, financial security, emotional security?
Yeah, probably financial. Not because, yeah, like there's a caveat. Like I don't care about money in a sense, but I think I feel financially tenuous. So it just, yeah, I'd like some financial security, but that's not what I want in the partner, which is interesting.
Mm.
Like I do and I don't. Like I'd
Mhm.
love someone to be there, but that's not the thing I yearn for. It's like it's like, well, there's always that high you get when you meet that maybe someone, and that I think there's a part of that where I crave like that the high
Mm.
of meeting someone. And if I, yeah, so I think that's,
That doesn't last.
It doesn't. It's chemistry. It
know.
doesn't
Yeah,
last.
that's what keeps
I know.
people cheating on other partners with other people, and that's not a cycle that you want to
Yeah.
be in the habit of striving for.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. Yeah. I know. But
It's
that's so it's there. It's like that craving, and I'm like, that's not good, but nonetheless,
but
Yeah.
it's there, right?
we have like this. We have this super unhealthy relationships in society, because what you're looking for in a partner, that you're going to share your life with, it's your best friend.
Mm.
You're looking for your
Yeah.
best friend. And do you want to have a best friend that is going to make you feel safe, not himself feel safe? Or do you want somebody that has enough in himself and you have enough in yourself? Because there's so many things that you would never ever do to a good friend, but you expect your partner to do it.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we keep emphasizing the autonomy.
Mm.
You need to be autonomous. So you find a best friend who is autonomous. And then you share your life together, and you just meet a person where you rather be with them than not have them in your life. That's basically it. That's all you should go for. And all the list we have with, hairy chest and height and income and all of that, that is like, it's so secondary. Is it a good friend? Is it a good friend? Is it somebody who will back you up and wear an ugly Christmas sweater because you say, let's wear an ugly Christmas sweater?
Yeah, I think that's where the pain comes in, because like I think that's just all I want, and that's what I feel like I can't find. Like, yeah, that's like Like that's it. What you just said. Like I'm not really interested in anything else. Like I don't think I'm particularly shallow or like, those are just things that are like representatives of things. But like what you just said there, I was like, well, yeah, that's it. Like that is what I want. I don't want that other stuff. I want what you just said. And that's what I feel like I'm like locked out of.
Yeah.
Or like separate from.
So if you're aware that the best way to have a relationship is to be with your best friend, you need to find somebody that has the same interest than you do. If you like square dance, go to square dance. If you like kayaking, do that. If you're a Buddhist, go to a Buddhist group. And then you will be introduced to people that have the same interest than you. If it's somebody that is going to be your best friend and you're going to share your life with, you better find somebody that has the same interest than you. And that is where you will probably find him.
That's the practical side though, isn't it? It's not the like, I guess I don't feel like that's the root issue because it's like it's that craving and that feeling of separateness.
Exactly.
And
that's the problem.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
That is where, Pernilla's advice is great, but you also have to be free to allow that never to happen. To go to Buddhist groups and kayaking groups and whatever you're into, and maybe you'll meet somebody who you'll turn out to be best friends with. And maybe something will happen, but maybe not. And that's what I was saying in the email, that it's not about giving up all looking. If you have an interest in being in a relationship, it's not about closing the doors and just saying, okay, that's it. I'm never going to be in a relationship. That chapter is shut. It's about staying open, but without any need, without any striving for the thing to happen. It's like you don't know whether you're going to be in a relationship. You don't know whether you're going to be a world famous singer. You don't know what is going to happen in the next door. Can you have an openness to allowing everything to happen without a persistent need for one of those things to be there at the denial of everything else? The idea is I need to be in that relationship because then everything else that's not that starts to look less good. It starts to look unsatisfactory. This moment isn't good because I'm comparing it to the imagination of being in a relationship with a family that seems better. If you can have the openness that if a relationship happens, well, that's wonderful, and I'll explore that. And if a relationship doesn't happen, well, this moment is still wonderful, and I'll explore it. Then it's no problem. You can be open to any possibility. But it's that
you need to be satisfied with what is here now.
Exactly.
And that is why the fourth and the fifth is really good to work with. So you really become aware of what is actually here now. What is it right now that you are missing out on because you're so hell bent on something else having to be in a certain way. So there's something beautiful here right now that you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And then as a practical thing, I do want to say that if you find out that actually what I really want is that family feeling, you don't need a husband for that. You can have children. You can have children. You can raise your children with a good friend. You can, there's so many different ways.
There are lots of different living situations nowadays.
Different ways to have families on that. It doesn't need to be male, female, and 2 children and 1.8 dog.
1.8 dog.
Yeah, no, I get the practical sense of it.
So it's really noticing what is it that you want, that you actually want. Because I think a lot of projection is happening into a partner and then everything would be amazing. But really look into what does that actually mean? Are you sure about that? Are you sure that is what you're going for? Because I think you will, when you really look closer to it, will find that it's that that kaleidoscope will keep twisting and turning and give you another picture, something else that is coming to the surface, and go like, oh my goodness, yeah, it's actually not that either.
Yeah, it's never really, yeah, it never really fits.
The thing is, the mind can create all sorts of stories about, like, so many of us in this culture are brought up believing that we need to have a relationship and a family in order to be fulfilled and to live a fulfilling, meaningful life. It's not true, and it's not true for everybody anyway. But because that's part of what we get brought up into, we can generate the idea of a family. And then it can almost be like it's not a desire that I have or a consideration of a possibility, but it's almost taken like a premonition. It's like that is my future, and I have to live to do whatever I can to make that happen. But it's not really a premonition. It's
Yeah.
this might sound weird and also a little bit terrible, but it's like if
Go
I
for it, babe.
if I had the dream that I want to be like a tightrope walker walking between, high rises in New York City, but I have a terrible sense of balance and I'm terrified of heights. The likelihood that that is going to be my future is probably not that great. So can I accept the fact that I have a dream of doing something, I have an idea of doing something, and it might never happen because it just isn't comfortable for me? If we can come to that recognition that the mind has created an idea which is not actually going to take place, and instead of having, grieving for the dream never realized, just recognize it was a really nice idea that just hasn't happened. It's a potential it's a potential parallel universe that the mind can generate that is not here. So can I find the actual beauty and the wonderfulness of what is actually here in the actual life that I was granted, the actual world around me? Can I see how magnificent that is? And that I'm not walking on a tightrope someplace has no reference to what the world is like right now. It's not to say that you won't eventually find yourself in a relationship, but what we're stressing is that it's really important to recognize that just because you dream it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And if
And
you're,
it doesn't even mean
and
that it's actually what you want. It might be
that too,
something completely else that you really want. You really want that feeling of presence in the moment where you just exhale and feel calm, and you thought that was outside of you, and then you find out it was actually inside of you all along.
Yeah.
But you were missing that because you were so hell-bent on finding it outside of you, because society taught you that you have to find that in someone else, or you have to find that, in a partner. But in reality, if you cannot find it in you now, you will not find it in a partner, because it's foreign to you, so you won't recognize it when you see it. You need to have that love in you and feel fulfilled in you. Otherwise, you won't recognize it when you find a partner that you actually would like to share your life with. Because it needs to be that when you find a partner, that you feel that your life and your calm and your mental stability is not going to be uprooted. You need to find somebody that acknowledge and love you for who you are, and you don't need to change. You don't need to be any different, because how can you be? You're just you. And that needs to be completely embraced. So when you find somebody that agrees with you, yeah, you're wonderful, then you can just be allowed to be you with that person without changing anything. And he doesn't have to change anything either.
Yeah. Yeah. I know this stuff, like, we know. It's just, it's like I guess it's the wanting, isn't it? That's it. Like, it's the wanting. And I sense that's, yeah, with every time I kind of approach any of the sort of stories, I always am like, I have to put the thing out of the way, in a sense, like the outcome that I want of whatever out of the way, because it's irrelevant in a sense, and like a review the kind of weird meta issue that's hard and slippery to find. And like, so if I put the, yeah, I may, it just might not ever happen. That's what I have to accept. And that I think I did the other day, and I feel a bit better about it. Although I'm feeling it now more like some more sadness come up. But I guess it's just like, I just don't want to, I don't want to chase anymore. I just don't want to, I don't want to be in that cycle. And that's another want.
Yeah, but sorry, what is it that you think that you want? What is it you think that
Right
is outside
now,
of you?
I want to not want.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Like, that's what I want. I want to not want. Not, no, that's not true. I don't mind wanting things. I don't want to crave stuff. It's just so
It's fine.
fucking
But
annoying.
there's nothing outside of you that you can crave. The whole idea of wanting something outside of you is a delusion. There is nothing outside of you. If you want love, you already have it. It's already there. If you cannot see it, you cannot see it when you're with a partner because it's been here all along. It is right here. The only thing that is like a practical thing is that if you want children, that is a different thing. Then get your kids. There are tons of kids out there. Or you can make your own. Yeah, make sure that it's legal, please. Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Tons of
kind
kids
of
out
been
there.
looking at things.
But whatever it is you want in a partner, you already have that. You already have that.
And if you don't, find out what that thing is and find out how you can be that partner for yourself.
Isn't that like that's not the issue though, is it? Like, isn't it like, you just said something which made me go, what? Oh, that's a thing that just clicked and it went.
Thank God we record.
Yeah, like it was like you can't want something outside of
Yeah, that
yourself.
there's nothing outside of there to want because
But what
everything
I
that you
have the experience of craving something, and there's something there that's
everything
nearly connecting.
and the
There's
thing is,
something that's nearly there, but
everything that
it's
you
like
everything you experience is a mind generated experience, right?
all of
You
it,
all of it,
all
literally.
of
I
it.
mean,
There's nothing else.
all of it. There is clearly a world out there, but we don't have access to a clear version of what that is. So whatever you're experiencing, whether it's love or chocolate cake, it's your perception of those things that you're experiencing. Your experience of love does not come from a person out there. It's generated within you for you,
It's not
which is
somebody else who does it because otherwise, for example, at night when you're dreaming, right? You can wake up from a dream and be fuming, or you can wake up from a dream and be horny, or you can wake up from a dream and be like in the best mood ever. Nothing has happened besides what was happening in your mind. You are creating all that. All of the hormones that goes along with it, you are creating all that. So when I look at Todd, it's not his beautiful face that does it. It's something in me that does it.
yeah.
Mm.
Even if
But what
some
about there's not a person there. So that's me making a person.
well, we don't want to go down the road of like solipsism where we're saying that literally there is nothing out there. There is another person, but your version of that person is not who that person is. You are seeing that person through your very
Filter.
biased filters. And if that person says, I love you so much, that only you can only feel that if you have the capacity to translate those words into something, to feel in you the what love feels like. Your version of love is going to be different from somebody else's version of love. And if you don't have that capacity to feel love in that way, it doesn't matter what a person says to you. You're never going to feel it. Likewise, somebody may never say they love you, but you can just, being with them or seeing the look on their face or something, you interpret that as a sense of love and you feel just as much of that without ever having them verbally express it or express it in some way that maybe they don't even know. Like, maybe they don't love you, but you interpret it as love because you are processing it that way and you're feeling it. It's never coming from them. It is this inside job of you feeling that love.
What?
It's
Yeah.
basically cat videos. It's cat videos. It's that you can sit and scroll on Insta and you see a dog video or a cat video and you immediately feel like, oh, all of that is happening in you. It's just a picture of a cat or a dog. You just did that.
Yeah.
And it's the same if you see your favorite pet peeve, strolling down the street or in the media or anything like that, and you feel, "Urgh." It's not the other person. That was a recording that was done 5 days ago. But so you do that in you. It's your mind that is doing that. And this is why we're saying that if you cannot feel that in you now, you cannot feel that with a partner.
No.
I think it's not that though. It's like the receiving that I'm not feeling, or like it's the feeling that I'm creating is a feeling of lack and so it's not even about the person, or it's about and I don't need another person to not feel that. I need to yeah.
But lack is such a fascinating one because you cannot ever lack something without the mind creating a version of a reality where that thing exists.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then
Everything,
saying that
everything
it's
is
not here now.
exactly. Everything is completely full as it is. When you look around you right now, can you say that anything in this world is lacking right now unless you create an idea of, well, but there could be an elephant in the room. Oh, this room is lacking an
Yeah.
elephant, right? The mind has to generate an alternate possibility of something which might be here, but isn't.
Yeah.
And then it compares
Yeah.
the two. But that is
That's
just a mind created issue. The world as you experience it does not ever include lack. It can't. It's a concept that we have that something could be different from the way
Yeah.
that it is. So every time you feel lack, you are trapped in the mind making comparisons to what is here versus what it imagines could be here.
It's
And the
like
mind can always imagine something beyond what's here. If you had $1 million in your bank account, your mind could imagine that you had $1 billion. If you had
But
$1
is
billion,
that
it could imagine $1 trillion.
but then
it's
is the
basically
lack
it's basically
like
advertising. It's basically advertising. They create a problem
Yeah.
and then they create a product to make you, so they tell you you shouldn't have wrinkles, but I have a cream here that removes the wrinkles. If you had never seen that advertising, you would never have thought about wrinkles being an issue. And it's basically what the mind does. It creates a scenario of you have a problem because you don't have a partner, but if you had a male partner you wouldn't have the problem. But it's a lie. It's the mind that is creating the problem and the solution by itself. And it's going to keep doing that even with a partner.
yeah.
So it's seeing through that delusion and saying there cannot be anything missing right now. If I feel
But is that
loneliness and feel alone.
Yeah, does that applies to the lack then? So
Yeah.
if I feel lack, then it's like, well, that's great. That's everything. It's what's right.
If you feel alone and you feel loneliness, know that there's a comparison with something else than what is right now.
Yeah.
So you're creating the problem and the solution in one go.
Yeah.
Both of them are mind created. You're not lonely.
Got it.
You're sitting here and creating something and creating a solution to that something.
Okay. Because that's where my brain was going then. Because I was like, then that means that the moment is absolutely full, even though it feels lacking.
Yes.
And it is in a sense, but it's like if that the lacking is coming from something I'm creating outside of the moment, and it's like the separation.
Yes.
Exactly. You have to be conceptualizing something else which is not
Right.
here in order to create that idea of lack.
That's okay.
If you didn't know that relationships
okay.
existed, you couldn't create that idea of I'm missing a relationship right
So
now.
how do you uncreate that?
You-
There you go. Like
you-
that's the big question. How do I not? How do I uncreate it?
well, it's okay to know that relationships exist. It's to recognize right now, as soon as you feel that first pang of lack,
Yeah.
recognize that you're in your mind.
Okay.
This is not something which is
It's not
actually
real.
here. It's not real. This is a mind-generated suffering that you're experiencing right now. And come back
Can
to the
that
actual
go?
present.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's
Can
a
that ever
lie.
stop happening?
Yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
lie. It's like you
But how do you stop the lie happening?
Well,
How do I
the
stop
suggestion,
that?
well, okay, so it's in stages, right? It's not going to be a one go kind of a thing. So
Okay.
right now, what's happening is you're probably feeling something uncomfortable in your life the way it is. It might be financial insecurity. It might be just a little bit of unease. It might be,
Yeah.
it could be
Okay.
any number of things, right? So
Yeah.
the mind tries to help. It generates, oh, well, you know what would be
yeah.
good? You could have a family. A family would take care of
with
it.
a
All of a
second
sudden now
brownie,
you'd feel,
with a glass of wine,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then a family, and then
Yeah, and
got
so
it.
once you have that idea in mind, now you're like, oh yeah, that would do it. And then you look around,
Yeah.
there's no family
Okay.
here. Oh, I'm in lack of a family.
Yeah.
not the brownie, was not the wine, it must be the family.
So yeah.
As,
Okay.
as long as there's a
Got it.
root discomfort, it's going to generate those possibilities. So you can
Okay.
acknowledge that the possibility is just mind generated. The idea of
Okay.
lack is mind generated. And then come into what is actually here in the moment. What feels uncomfortable here? Can you be with it? Can you recognize what is the root cause of that, of the mind trying to find a diversion, whether it is wine or a family? And just see, can I be with what is actually here? If it's financial insecurity, can I feel the insecurity in the body? That because financial insecurity is still a mostly conceptual thing, right? If you can eat
Yeah.
today and your
Yeah.
house isn't
The
being
lack is still
foreclosed,
conceptual.
it's conceptual. But so
Yeah.
feel, what does that feel like in the body? You feel this unease about something. Maybe it's
Mm.
just this, unfocused unease of being alive and vulnerable in some way. Just
Mm.
feel that feeling of like mild anxiety, that feeling of mild insecurity. Breathe and allow that to be, and recognize that there is a fullness and a perfectness, even with a body that feels slight anxiety, slight insecurity. You don't need to reach for something else to numb this or to distract from it or to blunt it. You can actually be with what is here as it is. And that is reconditioning you so that the mind will probably still for a while continue generating ideas of family and all those other things, but you won't get sucked into that rabbit hole of really thinking that that's a need that you need or that lack really exists. You can come back quicker and quicker to what is here. Oh, I was actually a little bit hungry. Oh, I was feeling,
It was the brownie.
it was a brownie, it turns out.
Yeah.
Or
It's a brownie. It's a
it's
brownie,
always
guys.
it's always a brownie. Let's
I'm
make
just
sure that.
Where's
hungry.
the brownie?
I'm
Let
just
the brownie say it.
hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I am actually a little
But
bit. I have food
but
waiting, but
but I
yeah,
mean,
okay.
it can even be like, you have a cramp in your foot that you haven't been aware
Yeah,
of until
yeah,
you suddenly realize
yeah.
that the mind is generating all these other options where cramps in feet aren't even a thing.
So,
So
so slippery. It's just that lack that was bugging me. I
yeah,
thought
Yeah.
the lack was real.
that
It's
was
not.
such a huge opening for me. It was when I was because I've always had that thing about a lack, and I remember I was
Yeah,
walking around the block one time, and I was thinking about like having a lack of time or a lack of money or something like that. And it was like such a massive blow when I realized like there is no such thing as a lack. Like
yeah.
it
I think
just
I've just got it. It's
yeah.
coming
It just everything just drops with that because there cannot be, it has to be a mind created comparison
With
between
something
something which
else.
exists and something which the mind creates and
Yeah,
imagines could exist. But it has never existed. It does not exist
yeah,
right now. It
yeah.
is,
Like it's the top layer is the relationship, And then I'm like, but that's not real. I just imagined that anyway. So that's fine. And I kind of got through that. And then I'm like, well, there's something lacking though. What's the lack? And I'm like, oh no, it's another thing.
Yeah.
It's just another thing I made up.
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
It is.
And
what is really here?
And now it's just like my tummy just hurts a bit.
Exactly.
And now that's what it
is. It might have been that all along. It might have been tension in your stomach. So all you
It
need
is.
like, exactly, a good massage of your belly and deep breaths and everything. And then you feel, oh wow, I don't need a brownie, I don't need a husband, I don't need anything. I just have tension in my belly.
With that, I think we've frozen your camera. We have. You came back.
I think if you
it was
sorry, my laptop died.
Oh no!
It was.
Can you raise your hand so we can find you again?
Oh gosh, hold on. Now you're asking.
Oh, we can see you.
Can you see?
Yep,
okay.
Right next to Marcus.
I am.
You're back.
So yeah.
It was such a big insight. It blew up the computer.
Yeah. I think I got there. Oh, it's such a head fuck.
Yeah, it is. And it's what I meant earlier, that you're going to find that kaleidoscope, for every twist you take, the picture is completely different. Now it's like, oh wow, it wasn't a husband, it wasn't a relationship, it wasn't children, it wasn't a brownie, it wasn't wine, it was, and then it's everything just looks different. When you really, really truly understand that you cannot lack anything, it just all falls away.
Like last time I keep having these big insights with you. Like last time I was like, you made me see like through the disappointment. I was like, oh, that's the thing I'm thinking of. That's the thing I'm making it. And that's not a thing. And then I let that go. And that was like huge. And now this time, like it's lack. I've just been, but like, it's so blindsiding. It's like, it's just pretending to be me.
Yeah.
And I can't, and I'm trying to see around it, and you can't. And then you go, oh, and that's what's annoying, because it's like, I'm not doing that. That just happens. I didn't do anything for that to happen. It just happens. And I'm now at the
but have it a bit like every time you have thoughts, so you have like a feeling of like urgency or anything like that, make a bowl of popcorn and lean back and, just enjoy the show, because there's nothing real in it. There's nothing real in it. It's just like bad advertising. It's creating an issue and creating a solution to the issue it just created. It's like any Hallmark rom-com on the planet. It's like every single advertising on the planet. It's just it's like the medical industry. Create a disease and create a solution for the disease. It's like that is happening all the time, and you can just lean back and enjoy the show.
Yeah, I just need to remember. But then I can't remember it because I'm too busy lacking. That's so I got it. Thanks again.
Amazing.
You're so welcome. I'm happy you came.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Happy holidays and happy New Year.
Thank you.
So good seeing you.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And now is Ryan. Patient Ryan.
Thank you.
So patient.
Hello.
Hey, Ryan. Good to see you. Welcome.
I'm glad you could be here on such short notice. You wrote me just before, right? Oh yeah, I can't hear you for some reason. Still nothing.
Still can't hear you. That's immensely good coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like a sip?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I have my immensely good coffee. Still got nothing.
Do you want to try to log out and log back in?
Oh,
good to see John. Hi, John.
Hello. He had a funny comment about the computer achieving cessation. Okay, let me let you back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I just can't see you. If you can raise your
Okay.
hand, I'll spotlight you again. But yes, we can.
He has a voice. There we go.
Oh,
There
did
we
you
go.
see it? Okay, there. Thank you.
Okay.
There we go.
There
Good,
we
good.
go. Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's
Okay.
okay. It's okay.
Glad it works. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so Pernilla, a small correction. Not nobody saw your video that you posted yesterday because I saw it and I saw your invitation to reach out to Todd, which I did this morning, and now here I am.
There we go.
So,
Are you also watching the Dallas Cowboys? Is that you?
no, in fact, I don't watch the Dallas Cowboys. However, I do shop at Costco, so maybe that was the
There
part
we
that
go.
got
It
me
might
here.
be there. I'm happy you're here,
Well,
and well done. That was really, yeah, a quick
Glad you can make it on
turnaround.
such short notice. Yeah.
That you come so quickly.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm really grateful to be here. I'm interested in the Discord group, which is why I reached out. But you've been a part of my life for almost a year at this point.
Oh, wow.
Found your videos and because of your encouragement, joined LU and joined Vince's groups, which I've been attending for a long time.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, wow, like to being here today has also been beautiful. I've been moved to tears multiple times, just the compassion that I see for everyone, and the space that you hold for everyone to really express themselves. Especially with Terrence, I was right there with you, you know, um moved to tears and telling myself I'm here, it's okay, I'm with you. And that's something that I haven't allowed, I've been resisting that for so much of my life. So yeah, just grateful to be here and grateful for the impact that you've had in my life.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll be happy to send you the Discord and
Yeah. Yeah, you're
It'd be great to have you
you're really
in it.
gonna enjoy Discord for sure. It's wonderful with the hive mind. That there's because there's so many different experiences of awakening that no matter what you bring to the table, there's somebody in there that goes like, "Oh, I recognize that one," and then they got you, and they can, like you experienced with LU with your guide, with the hive mind, it's like you have 400 guides that no matter what comes up, there's always somebody who's like, "Oh, I recognize that one." Which is just making it, such a beautiful experience. So we are really happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anything we can help you with, or?
No, I don't think so, man. I feel like I've been on a ride with everyone who's spoken today. Everything is just has resonated so much, and thank you everyone for sharing.
Yeah,
It's been really beautiful.
it is. It is. Thank you so much.
you
So
so
good
much.
meeting you, and I'm
Absolutely.
looking
Thank you.
forward to your
You too.
process, and keep us posted on how you're doing.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you
Okay.
around.
Yeah. Thank
Will
you
do.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
All
then
right,
it's
wait,
Ikram.
Doot.
Hello.
Nice to see you. How have you been?
Been well, thanks. And
Good.
How have you been?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Turn up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much for hosting the space. It's always a real experience. I've only been here twice, but it's been really great to hear the conversations. Oh, something that's been present for a long time in my experience is my a back pain, sort of between the shoulder blades, but actually sometimes a bit lower.
Mm.
It might it I know it has it probably has a mechanical aspect to it, but in terms of when it shows up, it shows up when there's a dislike for what's happening.
Yeah.
And it was often the case where I'd associate it to something.
Yeah.
And then later on it was like, oh, maybe it's like some intuition or something. But now it's not believed to be about anything in particular at all. It might be about a lot of things, like the mechanical issue, but I guess I'm not really sure what I'm asking, but I'm just sort of bringing this up.
Yeah. The placement that you talk about, where it's from between the shoulder blades and down, that's where you carry your bullshit backpack.
What's that?
The bullshit backpack is all the causes and conditions. It's where if you work with the second fetter, I'm talking about how we have a toxic starting point, which is that foundational belief that we have in our lives, which is partly about who I am, that I'm either shameful or it's my fault that things are not the way in the family that it should be, or that life is fearful. I'm so fearful, and life is a dangerous place to be. And I might only react with one way, and that is either silence or anger. So all of those experiences we have had that we have not digested in the moment. It's basically, I have a granddaughter. She's 3 years next year. And it has been so amazing experiencing her doing all the baby things and seeing her interaction with my son and his wife. For example, she's walking and then she falls over. And when a baby or young child falls over, they sit. The first thing they do is look at the parents to see how the parents are reacting. And if the parents don't react, but just allow space for the child to get an internal experience of what is happening, she will internally find out, I'm actually fine, or she will find out that really hurt. And then the parents come to help if it's needed, or they just go like, oh, look at you, and then you're up and about. Most of us have not had parents like that. Most of us have experienced that we fell over. Either they were over us like a hawk, be careful, be careful. Are you all right? Are you all right? Where did you hurt yourself? Where did you? And then we don't have time to get that internal feeling of, am I okay? Does it feel, how does it feel to be in my body right now? So what we do is that we externalize our experience. I don't know how it feels to be me, but I can see on you there's something wrong. So whatever I feel in me is not valid. You're telling me I'm not okay, which means I need to be prepared and alert all the time. The world is a dangerous place. I cannot even rely on how it feels to be me, knowing if this is safe or unsafe. And then we are on, alert all the time. It can also be that you fell and you started to cry, and then you were told, stop crying. There's nothing to cry about. If you keep crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about, and all of that. Again, that gives us that feeling that I feel something in my body. I cannot contain. This is too painful. But for me to be loved in this family, I need to turn that off. I cannot feel what is felt in my body. It was a bit what Terence talked about earlier, that he was never allowed to feel what was felt. There was nobody there to holding space for what was felt. So he just turned into his head, became a head on a stick. And now when he's starting to feel his body, he's completely overwhelmed by all of it, because it's a full life of falling down, bumping yourself, experiencing emotional hurt, and all of the things that we have experienced in our lives. When we do that, when we have experiences that are not fully digested in the moment, we take that experience and put it in our bullshit backpack. And that bullshit backpack gets heavier and heavier and heavier to carry around, and it gives pain exactly where you say that you have pain. So what you're telling me with where you have the pain is that there's a lot of emotional work that needs to be put in the right boxes because you are confused when you have a feeling, you're confused which box it goes into. Which means that when you feel something, you don't know if it's, now I'm really exaggerating, like happy, sadness, grief, confusion, anything, basically any feeling. The majority of us have been taught that there are like 5 basic feelings we can have, like happy, sad, anger,
Farty.
yeah, farty. Thank you, babe. And those are basically it. But there's so many other feelings like confusion, boredness. There's so many things that we can feel. But if we have not been taught how to feel things, how to be in a body that feels things that we don't really know which box to put it into, we divert away from it. Which also makes us live a life in a way where we try to control what is happening, and it can only happen in the boxes that we know what to feel about. So if somebody is reacting in a way that you're not comfortable with, that uncomfortableness that you feel is because you have not felt your feelings in the same box, if that makes sense. So I can recommend you to do the second fetter.
Okay, all right. When I came across your videos, that's the section I most resonated with.
Yeah.
Even though I was exploring the ninth fetter, you referenced the second fetter, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ah, okay, this I experienced a lot of this stuff, even though I kind of get what's going on, around no self, but this experience is so present. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, because it's deeper than, well, it's not, a lot of people, they come either from or for the whole no self side of things. And it's really easy to bypass and ignore or just disregard a lot of the emotional stuff that comes with it because in some, traditions, it's like, well, if there's no self, then there's no problem, there's no emotional attachment or anything else. But it's because it's a completely autonomous sort of experience. Like the body has this whole emotional process completely independent from what we take to be the self. Like the selfing mechanism is maybe one sort of mental process that creates a feeling of identification, and we can have identification with certain emotional states and with certain experiences of the body, and we can weave them into a narrative self and all that. But more fundamentally, the body is experiencing certain states every moment of its being. And sometimes it's able to process them in ways where they come and they go and they pass and they go. But like Pernella's always saying, developmentally, we often were not in situations where that was possible. And these things are there. And regardless of whether the self mechanism, which makes us feel identified with anything, is operational or not, the body still is holding on to all sorts of emotional conditioning. And there's just still, that's what we've been talking about with multiple people today, that there's still so much work that can be done with it, completely irrespective of the selfing nature of any of it.
Yeah.
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 So yeah,
I love that.
he was posted on how are you on Discord?
Yes. I
Yeah,
am.
good, really good. So keep us posted on how you're doing, and yeah, I would love to hear on the 13th of Jan next time we have an inquiry, if you can come to hear how you're doing with everything, what you have found out about your backpack, and what movement you have in your back, because that's the next thing that you're going to start to feel, how the body moves differently when the backpack gets easier to carry around.
Good to see you.
Good to see
Thank you
you,
for being here.
and
Thanks
happy
so much.
holidays and happy new year.
Yeah.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, we got Ellie next.
Hey,
Hello. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I wanted to connect with you too because I initiated one of the study groups back
Yes.
whenever you thought of that, and I haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to join this group since then. So I wanted to check in and see if there was anything you wanted to say about the intention for it and kind of report back about what we've been
Yeah,
experiencing.
I'm so grateful that you did that.
I've heard good things from certain people who have been at it, who attend
It was because
regularly.
we were being interviewed. I can't remember where that was now, where they then afterward had a study group that was talking about the interview and the notes they did, and that gave us that idea. It would be so amazing to have a study group that is doing the awakening curriculum. So it's like you listen to a lesson, you make notes about your own experiences, and then you take it to the group where you can ping pong with other people that are having the same experiences, but where it's like specifically about a topic for each lesson that you guys do. And I'm so happy that you took the, what do you call it, stafette, and you and baton and went with it. Thank you so much. Thank you
Well,
so much.
thank you. It's been really great. It's been nice to have kind of a formal structure in place where we all have got a goal, but then we go away and we investigate in our own lives.
Yes.
We come back, and the groups are not really like a deep inquiry, but they're more talking about what we discovered
Yes.
and also
Exactly.
talking about the lessons, especially parts. It's been nice as well to do it with, to have this group with students, not a teacher, because
Yes.
we've been able to go, I really didn't get that part. And then another
Yeah.
person can say, oh, but remember, Vanilla said, it's not that that's wrong, it's that it's just a place, an opportunity to find identification. We all remember different parts of the lesson, so it's been really
I
great.
love it so much. It's so brilliant. If there's anything we can do to help at any point, please let us know. And I'm so, and it's also a shout out to everybody that is listening to this that would like to be in a study group. That there are, I have heard so many good things about the group, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we always end up having questions, but I think I had a question earlier that's kind of disappeared for me now, but it was like when I was writing up the kind of discussion questions, which we often use ChatGPT to just have a starting point for what we're going to talk about.
Love that.
It was deep. We were in Fetter too and talking about a lot of trauma and family experiences. And at that point, we kind of collectively decided to stop recording because we all felt a little bit safer to just be completely bleh,
Makes sense.
And I was curious because I think this is part of a slightly different issue for me, which is like OCD, moral scrupulosity, feeling overly responsible. When I was writing out questions about, like, if you can't look at your family and your past and your parents and say that they were amazing, then you've got more work to do. And I feel like somebody who's a qualified teacher could put those words out in the world, but even just typing them felt very scary to me. And I wanted to ask, like, when you are having these group discussions, is there anything that you intentionally do or put in place to create a safe space when we're discussing deep trauma?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, maybe it's not a question that makes any sense because I know that we're all in this group because we are deeply willing to open up all that stuff and look into it. I guess I just felt scared that what if people feel pressured to talk about things or get re-traumatized or something like that, in our chats.
It's always important to, because that's the whole thing, and that is one of the issues with posting on YouTube, for example, and not in a closed group where I know who hears it, and everybody are caught if anything is happening. On YouTube, it's like completely open and anybody can hear it, and you can absolutely be re-traumatized by watching things on YouTube that the creator did not mean for people to be re-traumatized, but they had just a thing that they need to work with. So that can absolutely happen. I think it's important in any group that there is a full acceptance, unconditional acceptance for whatever anybody brings to the table. That it's just keep reminding yourselves that nobody knows what is the right experience for Gary. Whatever Gary feels is valid. That can be pointing to Gary on, do you recognize this feeling? Is this, and always ask questions. Never tell people what they experience, because who are we to know? So always asking Gary, but when you say that you absolutely hate your family, do you want to work with that? Do you see that hate is happening in you? Your family is dandy, living their lives and do not think about you at all. Do you see that hate is in you? Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to work with it? No, because I hate my family. Okay, then we don't talk more about it. And Gary is the one that is the guardian of his boundaries to feel that, no, I don't want to talk about this. And nobody should push him about that. But if he says, I want to talk about it, and you then have a feeling, okay, it sounds like there's not healthy boundaries here. Are you sure? If he's saying something, or if anybody's like forceful towards themselves, love, compassion, and kindness, unconditional acceptance, it's the keywords in anything that we do. And if you hear somebody is talking about themselves where there's not love, compassion, kindness, and unconditional acceptance, then remind them of their being unfair. They're judging themselves too harshly, because there's nothing wrong with any of us.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Thank you. And I think that is how it's been playing out. So that's nice to hear.
Yeah. So strong boundaries and lots of love, compassion, kindness, and unconditional acceptance. It's what we all need. Everybody who's here, if you did not know, you're absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with you at all. And then in a bracket, I just want to say, I saw that you guys in the community talked about fear and OCD. I think it was Ben who brought it up, and I made a video about it, and it's coming out on the 15th, I think it is.
Okay, amazing. It's been really interesting to work with OCD since having done this other stuff. It's a very different experience, but it's funny how, they call it the doubt disorder, and I've just done all this work on doubt, and there's such a deeper foundation for being able to say that's a compulsion. I'm not engaging now that I have the thing about, thought ping-ponging back to thought and going back to the body and all of that stuff. So that's been great too. In general, it's felt more like when we started the study group, there was a sense of, oh, there's so many videos. It's such a long journey. I'm so far away. I want to get through it. I want to do all the yucky emotion stuff and get that out of the way. But now it's like everything's so relaxed. And we're on Fetter 3 at the moment, and the video we've just recently been doing, you had a sentence like, I hope you understand by now that contentment is the only emotion. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do understand that now.
Nice.
Like, such a nice feeling, and there's less of, like Caroline was saying before, the chasing, and now it feels more like the just riding, which is really nice. So it's funny that it has been the structure and the really intentional practice that seems to have other things like just naturally unfold in other ways because of that, but not necessarily, it's just all connected in a really nice way.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I love that, Ellie. I love that.
Yeah. And then I was also thinking, like, when Carolyn was talking, I came to this journey with my big issue, my big bush, but beating around the bush by working on all the other things in my life with those lessons has actually helped me untangle the bush as well. So it's a bit of both, I think. Yeah. So thank you so much for all the material. We're having a really good time.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. We had a long talk yesterday, Todd and I, about parallel play. Yeah. And I really, really love this parallel play that I have with you guys in the community. That do you know what I mean by parallel play?
Yeah.
That you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing, and it makes me feel so warm and fuzzy and content and happy, and it makes me feel so connected to you. So I absolutely love that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to chime in with one thing. Going back to your first question about when you had said about even typing something like, if you can't, say that your family was, completely perfect, if there's more work to do. Um, I just want to make sure that these things are seen as pointers without being ever used to make somebody feel like that is a viewpoint that they should be somehow forcing themselves into having, or, there's no shame if you don't feel that. There's no bypassing and gaslighting or any of that that's meant in that. It's something where it's like, almost to say like an aspirational quote, is more the thing that it's pointing you to a way that you can experience the past, a way that you can experience memory now, a way that you can view these things, but it's just to put it out that this is a possibility, but it's not to in any way try to gaslight or manipulate or shame somebody into feeling something different or invalidating their experience or
No, goodness.
so we just, I think that, and that's why you said that, like, it even feels uncomfortable typing that sort of thing. And it's because that's usually how that sort of thing is used, in an improper manipulative kind of way. And we're just making it clear that it's a very aspirational sort of, this is a possibility. It's put out there, and we all have the possibility of just working more and more and more.
But
to
it's also
clarify.
that, yeah, it's also that, and it's also why it's important to see all the feathers as a wheel, because for some people that haven't had boundaries regarding their families, they need to have that. They're fucking assholes. I don't want anything to do with them, and I'm not okay with how they are. And then they finally put up a boundary, and then they're within that, and we're giving full support to that.
Yep.
And at some point, they're going to realize, oh, that pain that I feel in me, it's created in me. It's something that was seed that was planted then, and it was like I was weed that was being beaten down. That is causes and conditions that are making me see the world as it is right now, but it's not one-to-one correlated with them. So I don't have to have contact with them. I don't have to speak with them. I don't have to like them. But I actually don't have any feelings towards them anymore. But for some of us, we need to go through the building of really, really strong boundaries where we are protecting ourselves against them. And then it's completely okay to have that. I don't want anything to do with them. So like Todd, he says, that is not the time to enforce the ideal of being okay with everybody in the world. If you're in a place where towards those people you need strong boundaries, you have those strong boundaries. Keep those strong boundaries. That is what is kind, loving, and compassionate towards you right now. Do that. And then, at a later point, you might see that all of that too was just created in your mind.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for doing the group. I'm so grateful.
Well, it's a nice collective. We're all kind of taking turns now to do the questions and things.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Thank you so much, Ellie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, and Happy New Year.
I just need to blow my nose. Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're back.
Okay, I'm back.
I just wanted to say, well, it's a really good coffee you make us.
Thank you. 2 more. Hello, Vicky.
Hello, Vicky.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, do you guys is it okay to talk for a relatively longer time? Because I noticed that with everyone that came, you guys kind of, because with Angelo it's 10 minutes, but with you guys, is it longer?
It can be.
It can be, but for some people, it's a longer thing that needs to be unraveled. For other people, it's just like they just need one pointer, and then off they go. It's very different to give the same to everybody. We need to do different with everybody.
Yeah. We try to just stay open for
Do you have a long one?
Like I have like a lot of questions, but like you guys can be like, oh, that's time's up. Like it should be like enough. Like you guys can say that. Like I'm not gonna be offended if you guys say that. But
Okay,
like,
but
you know, because
I also just want to say that if there's something that we're not replying to now, you can come back on the 13th, and then we just take it there. You can come back as many times as you want, and you raise your hand every single time. You're more than welcome.
Okay.
So
All
so
right.
so go straight to the thing. What is the biggest issue right now?
The biggest issue right now is what was already talked about, but for me, I have like I need more time to process it. Like what Caroline talked about, Caroline, right?
Yeah.
I think that's her name. Like she talked about like, you know, feeling lack when it comes to like a partner. And like when she said that and like you guys were answering, I was just wondering like, bro, like you guys are literally the perfect couple. Like you guys are both into non-duality. You guys are like seem happy and like it's just like clearly you guys have something that we do not. So like what is it that you guys think you like do you
Yeah,
think that's
well,
true or like
yeah,
No,
well,
but
no, not that. No,
what?
no, 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 no. That we have something you don't is not true.
Not true.
No,
No.
what I was gonna say is the reason we give that kind of advice is because we were both in the place of wanted nothing to do with a relationship. It was never on my mind that I would ever be in a relationship. The idea of being married was like insane, like not even a remote possibility. Was not looking for anything at all. And Pernilla was in the place
I
where
have been married and divorced, and I got kids and grandchildren. Or in January, I had children. And I was super happy in my life, really, really happy, not being a mom and not being a partner and just being on my own and doing my own thing. And I could get up and meditate in the morning, and I could, go to retreats whenever I felt like it. And I have I'm very specific. It's very specific with my diet, what I want to eat and what I don't want to eat. Oh, can you mute? Oh, there's muted. So I was not looking for a relationship either. I was so happy in my life where I was and doing what I wanted. Had complete autonomy and enjoyed that. I didn't miss anything in my life at all.
and that's what we try to stress is that we were both in a place where we were just completely autonomously happy with life as it was. And then I had started a Fetter group, and Pernilla on the other side of the world had found out about the Fetter group, and we met, and it was just kind of like friendship, intellectual, curiosity. She was starting to work on the awakening curriculum and had questions and my feedback. And we started talking. And the next thing you knew, we were in a relationship. And the next thing you knew after that, we were meeting. And the next thing you knew after that, we were married. And so it was like
his friends are still grilling him because all of his friends, Todd was the one, you should not get married. You should never get married.
I've been
so he's still being grilled about that.
So it was something where it was so not on either of our radar that was even a possibility. And it was nothing that we were like actively seeking or anything like that. We were just open to, oh, well, this is interesting. Oh, well, this feels right. And when she came here for the first time to visit, it felt like, normally when you have like a visitor in the house, even if it's family, it feels weird. Like you have like, a visitor in the house. It doesn't feel like home. And the second she was in the house, it just felt like she had always been here. And it was just, we've had this like ridiculous compatibility that is just so unique and abnormal. And we are so grateful for it, but it's nothing that we would ever like, that we had even fathomed as being something that we would strive for or want or any of that. And so
it's also because there's lots of compromise. I wouldn't compromise with my diet, and Todd wouldn't compromise with his diet. We're both Buddhists, so both of us are vegan, and we're very specific with what we eat and what we don't eat. And weirdly enough, it's the same. It's the same. We had the same diet. So both of us also have that I'm not, if something should happen to Todd, I would still not be looking for a relationship.
No.
I can't imagine there's another Todd on the planet. And so I wouldn't be looking for a relationship, and I would miss him. but I wouldn't miss a relationship because it's not that.
And I say that all the time, that I don't think if I had never met Pernilla, there was no way I would be in a relationship right now. And like you said, if something happened to her, I do not see me ever being in another relationship. I just think there's something very unique about this particular circumstance that has led us to being in this particular unique relationship.
Yeah.
But it's not, yeah, it's just so strange. I mean, the good thing is it proves that it is theoretically possible, but I don't know, like it's so unlikely for us. We look at all the things that had to have happened for the two of us to have met
There
and
are
to be
like
so
small things that, if I hadn't taken a left turn
yeah.
and Todd had taken a right turn, we would never ever have, this would never have
We'd
happened.
never have met.
There's
And
so many things that had to fall into place for this to happen. And I can't even explain how it happened because we weren't looking.
so we are abnormally happy together, but it's because we were also very happy individually. And so, I mean, we have been together for a few years now,
Yeah.
and I mean, we're coming up to our second anniversary
Yeah, we
in a week, 2 weeks.
been here for 3 years.
Yeah, and we have never had an argument. So it's like, there's just
argued once. We're still in
what people call the honeymoon phase.
period. We still haven't argued. We're still not disagreeing about anything. But it's
So-
because both of us are comfortable with ourselves. There's not an ego in the way to, I need for things to be my way. There's none of that.
Yeah.
So it just makes it very, very easy. And it's also why I also mean that, you should never compromise with anything. Be comfortable in you and be the person that you absolutely find attractive. I am gorgeous. I am amazing. I love my humor and I love, everything, and be absolutely fulfilled with your own company.
Mm.
And then if a partner comes along that is your best friend that completely agrees with you, that, yeah, your smelly feet is adorable, then there you go. But it's not some I don't even know where I would have looked if I had looked for somebody, because I was so not interested in a relationship and could not fathom that there would be anybody out there that is so particular with things that as I am. It's even to the point, when you are with other people and they're messy and you can't find your things because they're messy. We're messy in the same way. So even when he put my things in a place that they don't normally are, I can find them because I would probably put them there as well.
So yeah, it really, it's not about there being this perfect other person out there or needing to, find this other person. It's really, I think the key is having that complete acceptance and happiness of how you are, where you are, and then if it happens to unfold, just be open to it. Be open to seeing where it goes if you meet somebody, but without that need and that striving and that urging for that thing to happen, because whatever you imagine is never going to be what you experience anyway. And at the it might keep you from exploring a possibility because you didn't imagine that one was possible, or it might keep you comparing what is actually a really good relationship to one that you can imagine would be even better, and then you miss out. I had no idea that a positive functional relationship was actually possible. So that wasn't even on my radar, but I was open to exploring it, which allowed it to happen. So yeah.
And we are just immensely compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've even experienced dreaming the same things at night.
Yeah.
So we share dreams at night. It's so bizarre.
We have a very weird relationship.
We have a weird relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess kind of the theme or the part of the takeaway is like I'm alone right now. I'm like on my own right now, and that's like matter of fact, like that's just how it is right now. And if I was seeking a partner, then I would feel more suffering because like I'm at a state in which I don't want to be at right now.
Yep.
And but if you can be by your own and you can be happy, then you can be happy anywhere,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
like you guys said, like even if my partner died, like I don't need another one. I can just be by myself and I can be happy.
Yep.
So like even if I found the perfect partner, like who you guys did, which you guys did, it seems like, and like even if they died, like what then? Like anyways, so what I'm trying to say is just like if you're okay with being alone, then you're okay with being like anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
Like is that kind of like what you guys are saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
equanimity.
Yeah, exactly. It's what we talked with Caroline about, having that feeling of autonomy in you. I am enough.
Yeah.
You know, I am enough. And Todd, he feels that he's enough. And then we live completely autonomous together.
And it is that thing where it's, you can't, like you were saying with Carolyn too, that you can't need for the other person to fix anything or
Yeah.
change anything about your experience. It has to be as good as it can be as it is by yourself. What we might find, I mean, what we found is that our lives were perfect as they were, and then they're actually a little bit better together. And we weren't expecting that.
I'm so much a better person after I have met Todd, because he just brings something really good out in me that I didn't know that I had, and brings another angle to life that I just didn't see. So I feel that Todd is making me a better person.
And I feel exactly the same from this side. It has been, so much growth on both of our parts since we've been together. But it's, there was no problem before we got together. And then we were just open to, oh, and then this changes and this changes.
Yeah.
And, but it doesn't work where it goes back to where, it doesn't make life before the relationship seem
Bad.
gray and worse or anything like that. It's
I
just,
actually think I can say that because I'm autistic, right? And I need my own space a lot. I need for people not to touch me and not to talk to me and to leave me alone. I need that a lot. And with Todd, he doesn't drain me. I don't have the need to be alone. I'm with him 24/7.
we're in
It's like
literal physical contact.
it's like that if I go to the bathroom, right, I can see something online and I'm so excited to come out and tell him. And I literally saw him 5 minutes ago. So there's like something non-draining about him because I am allowed to be me. There's no expectations on my shoulders for being any different than I am, which just makes it so easy to be with, because it's like being alone, if you can say, if you
Yeah.
understand what I mean. There's no expectation. There's nobody who's draining. There's nobody.
Mask or anything.
I don't have to mask. I don't have to be or do anything because he's completely in charge of his own,
Yeah.
emotional stability and reassurance and all of that. I don't need to do that.
Yeah, so like I guess like with you guys, like it's very clear. Like I was reading Be As You Are by Ramana Maharshi, and he says like, oh, like the like God or a higher power is the one that's truly running your body and truly making you function and truly like moving you around, and like you're not the one doing that, or like because you don't even exist. And then I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. And then like so for you guys it's basically totally like conditions based that you met each other, because the fact that you guys met each other is basically like divinely appointed, right? Like would
Yeah,
you
I
guys
mean,
say that? Because like
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Todd's mom. I think it's Todd's mom.
Yeah, I took care of my mom for a lot of years, and she passed away the year before we met. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah. So, but it's like yeah, I mean, everything about this experience is one in, unfathomable trillions or
Yeah.
more. Like it's just, it's really hard. We've gone through those mental games of like, and if she hadn't gone to blah blah blah, or if she had taken this trip to blah blah blah, or if I had not blah 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 and not created the blah blah blah, there's
None of
like
it would
no
have
option that
happened.
we ever would have met. It's unfathomable that and so
All the things that needed to be in place for this to happen, it's like it's a puzzle that is so big that I don't even know how that happened.
yeah
But I think the reason why it works is that none of us plays anything on the other one.
yeah
Todd doesn't need to do anything or be anything. I'm very protective of him keep being Todd. So it's not that he needs to change or do anything to make me more comfortable or more happy. Yeah.
yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, and that whole idea that people have about, needing to meet their partner it's like the other half of me to make me whole or something is such a problem.
Yeah. I was
It's
whole.
yeah, exactly. We
I was
have
whole.
to
I
be
am
whole,
whole.
and then we can be whole together, but
Yeah.
you're still whole regardless of what happens in that relationship. It's such an untenable position to be in that place where you need somebody else to fix or perfect you or make you, okay. It's like you said earlier, it's way too much pressure on the other person
Yeah.
who has their own shit to deal with. Like because they're going to expect in that situation, they're probably expecting you to do the same thing for them. You know,
It's
yeah,
way too much to put on another
it is.
person's plate.
It is.
It really needs to be so. But when I have an issue, I come and talk to Todd about it, not for him to fix it, but see if he has any insight that I can use, not for him to correct me or come with a solution or anything, but just to ping pong with a friend about this, just like we're doing now, where it's just like a ping pong back and forth. That there's no hooks into anybody who we have spoken with today that needs to do something that we have said. If you come back and you've done the exact opposite, that's completely fine too. So it's having that openness for the other person, but you need to have that for yourself. You need to have unconditional acceptance to yourself for you to have that for another person. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Am I muted?
Yeah, now you're back.
You're good now.
Okay. All right. So, so basically, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So for you guys, like before you met, like, so what I'm interested in, what I'm more interested in is like, because like I know you guys are like amazing right now, which I'm jealous of. JK, I'm just joking. But like there was like how you guys were before you met, and I'm like there right now. So like, do you have to be awakened to like be to not care about not being in a relationship? Like because like I know like before you're awakened, there's this sense of like loneliness, there's this sense of like not being enough, there's this sense of like lacking something, and but after you're awakened, the loneliness like it kind of like expands and then goes away. So like do you have to be awakened to be like satisfied with yourself alone?
No. And in fact, I wouldn't even say that it's a universal thing. Like for me, like I said, I hadn't been in a relationship for 20 years. Like it was, since college, I hadn't been in a relationship, and it was nothing that I had any interest in doing. And I didn't feel lonely because of that. I didn't have that as just a motivating factor in life. And I was definitely not awake. I was on the path, but it was nothing where I would be like, I, I was had all sorts of other struggles and other suffering and lots of other stuff going on, but that wasn't part of it. That idea that somebody else could do something for me to make me feel better in that way just wasn't part of my repertoire. Um, I think it's something that a lot of people experience, absolutely, but it's not necessarily universal, which indicates that it's something that each person can actually investigate on their own, because it's not just a human trait that is baked into our DNA. It's something based on the conditioning and based on, your your perception of you and your perception of what you think a relationship is and could be, and all of that is tied into the mental concepts around the experience.
But it does help, not having ego in the front seat. Could you do the curtain?
Sure. Right back.
It does help not having, not being selfing, being completely aware that there's nothing I can blame, shame, or project onto Todd. And if he only did, or if he only didn't, then I would be happier. Having seen through that, it definitely helps in a relationship. That there's nothing that the other person can do or not do that will make you happy. And that is not a green light for abuse. If you're in a relationship and the other person is, taking an advantage of you, not, blaming, shaming, complaining the other person, then, avoid those relationships.
Yeah.
It needs to be an equal one.
Yeah.
So like, oh, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So like, are you guys both like fully enlightened? Because like, I've been wondering this.
No, but
Because
what,
like
it's such a great
teach the
question.
10
Because what does
feathers.
that even mean?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? We can only say that we are enlightened if there's a comparison with something else. And then we're back to what we talked with Caroline about, that there is something right here arising in this moment that is full as it is. There's nothing missing in that. It's complete. So we can only say that we are enlightened or awake if we're comparing to something opposite, and then we're in our minds. Then we are no longer in what is arising in this moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like, because there's no one to be awake, right?
And what does it even mean to be awake?
We don't even know. I mean, there's no universal definition of what awakening even is or what enlightenment actually is. It's not just a tradition by tradition thing. It's a case by case thing. It's one big sliding scale of a spectrum. And so, we can have insights and we can have experiences that show us that there are different ways of viewing the world, different ways of viewing our perception of what, I am or what you are or what all of this is. But those have to be integrated. And they have to, one flash of an experience is not enlightenment or awakening or anything. It's a very slow, for most of us, process of reintegration, reconditioning the system. And so when we're doing like 4 and 5 Fetter stuff, a lot of it is reconditioning the reactive patterns and the craving patterns to see we can have some very clear insights that what I thought was craving actually is just a series of thoughts and sensations in the body. And actually, there is no need to act on those. And actually, blah, 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 blah. And we can have all sorts of insights. And little by little, they tend to get put into practice. And little by little, they weaken the structure of what we thought was the identification of wanting something or not wanting something. And we can become clearer and clearer. But as Pernilla said, the reason why we work with the Fetters as a wheel of identification is because each time you have one new insight about something, you're going to go back to some other aspect that you thought you had seen through and find that there's more subtle identification still there. And no matter what, I think there is a bottomless pit of identification that you can potentially see through. I don't think anybody is ever fully done and awakened, full stop, and that's it. There is always more integration that can happen as long as we're alive.
And I actually think if you want to ask people the question, then a better question to ask is, are you awake or are you enlightened, is to ask them, are you constantly content? Are you repetitively content? Because that is giving you more an indication of where they actually are. Because there is only one feeling, and that is contentment. It's the only feeling there is. Anything else is something else pulling you away from that. Because contentment is when there's no suffering. There is just a full acceptance of what is happening. And if I start to cry because something happens, there's a full acceptance of that. I have no wish of not crying. I'm just crying. There's like, there is just that arising, and there's no suffering in it. It's what I'm talking about with you have a warm bath or you have a root canal. It's the same thing. Because in this moment, there's nothing missing. It's just a comparison with something else that I don't want. And that is where discontentment comes in. So I think if you want to ask people the question, are you awake or are you enlightened? Ask them instead, are you content? And if they say, yeah, mostly there are things I don't want, then you know there's more to be done.
Yeah. So going back to the previous topic about romance, because I have a lot of questions. Um, so like I watch anime sometimes, I watch Netflix sometimes, I go on Instagram Reels sometimes, but like it seems like I don't really have a hobby. My biggest hobby, my only hobby is like, non-duality. And Todd just said like, oh, like go and find a person with like a similar interest, but like non-duality people like are very like hard to find. And like I went on Angelo's community locator thing,
Yeah.
and sorry, and like it didn't really like, oh sorry, it didn't really like work out for me in terms of like finding like a bunch of guys that I could talk to that I might potentially be able to date, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought it might have worked like that, but it didn't work like that. So so like yeah, so like now it's like, what do I do, man? Like, I mean, like obviously you can date people that are not non-dual,
Yeah.
but like
It's difficult.
I'm just like how is this good?
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, again, if we're talking about it from the sort of non-dual side of it, then you wait. You work on the stuff right now that is uncomfortable or that feels like it needs to be different, and which is driving you to, look for a guy and find a potential partner. On the other side of things, if just as a practicality, it's still fun and you want to date and do all that sort of thing. It is important to have a very clear, well, it's two sort of sides of that. It's, for one thing, important to be really open with allowing things to just unfold. Like I said with us, it was completely unexpected. We didn't meet looking for a partner. We was just like, I had a Fetter group that I was running. She was doing a curriculum on the Fetters, and it's like, hey, I'm making this video. Can we talk about, blah blah blah? And so it was just like mutual curiosity, and then it just kind of happened. If you find somebody that, you know, and you just are kind of open to whatever happens, that's one thing. But it's also important to, if you are looking to be in a relationship, to have some sort of guidelines that, like you said, if I was not vegan, it would just not have been on the table.
No,
like there are.
I would have an issue with somebody that casually can kill beings, animals or people, like casually just, kill someone and eat them and find that great. I would have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with people and everybody who is a meat eater. I don't have an issue with you at all. But I would have an issue with having a partner that I'm sharing my life with that has that fundamental attitude to killing another being is completely fine. We are running around in the house letting ants out, both of us, and that is helpful. It would break my heart if he was stomping on ants or killing a mosquito or fly, or I would feel it in me because I can feel the animal in me. So I don't have an issue with people doing it. You do you, you're fine. There's nothing wrong in that. But having that around me is difficult because it makes me so sad.
And so we talk to a lot of people who have been on this path who, maybe they were married before they got into non-duality or something, and the partner is totally not into it. And, they are, and that can be a real struggle. So recognizing that this does mean a lot to you and that this is your big hobby, and then aligning that you're not going to just settle to be with somebody, even if it doesn't fit. If they think you're crazy for this, but they still, enjoy doing other things with you, you have to really hold yourself in enough esteem that you aren't going to, put yourself into a potentially uncomfortable, toxic kind of a relationship, or at least where you're not fully able to be you. Like we've said, that why this works is that we're both able to just be how we are, and there's no masking, there's no need to be otherwise. I'm not watching the words that come out of my mouth and being, self-conscious about that, and vice versa. And for to willfully get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't share core values or core interests or beliefs, or something where you have to feel guarded in a way, is just a recipe for disaster eventually.
But it's basically like looking for a good friend.
Yeah.
Somebody that you would like to, put an IKEA shelf together with, doing something that is super, super complicated and have fun doing it. If you are with somebody where it's a struggle and you can't be you, you wouldn't be friends with them.
Mhm. But it's really, you have to know your own worth, and you have to really value your worth as a person and your interests and all of that, and that needs to come first. That's why we stress so much having healthy boundaries and a healthy sense of self before doing the whole non-dual no self side of things, because that's really important in a relationship too.
To have clear boundaries. Yeah.
I hope you're still there.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
frozen.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we cannot.
You're a little bit breaky, but
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there you are. There you
Let
are.
me go out. Let me go out of this warehouse. It's gonna be kind of cold, but let me just step out of it. Because the warehouse helping my sisters out right now, my sister out right now, and her boyfriend. I mean her husband. So
nice.
yeah. So let me just step
But
out.
I also
Now you can see the
think,
blue sky.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Oh, hello. There you are.
there you are.
You're back.
Yeah. Like, sorry, did you guys hear me before?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could hear you. You were just a frozen picture.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah. You're breaking up. You're there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a series of still
Okay.
images, but instead of like fluid motion, but we can hear you okay.
Okay. So, basically, like, I'm kind of like worried, like, even with my normal friendships, because there's non-dual friendships and then normal friendships, like, even with my normal friendships, like, with my only hobby being non-duality and how much I dedicate myself to it, like, when I'm not working, I'm just doing non-dual stuff. And or like watching your videos, or like doing fetter work, or like doing shadow work, or like doing whatever work there is out there to do, like non-dually. And so, like, I'm just like, I'm kind of worried about like my current friendships, because about how they'll go. And I'm also worried that like in the future, like making friends, like will we like resonate with each other if they're talking about anything but non-dual stuff. And
But Vicky,
yeah.
you're forgetting a super, super important thing, and that is that nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
That interest that you have in non-duality now, it's probably just a phase.
Yeah, it's probably not
because
permanent.
it's not permanent. The normal phase that people have, that we see in our groups, is that people come in and they're super, super engaged, and they are like all in, like you are, and it's all they do, and they breathe non-duality, and then all of a sudden they just need a break.
Yeah.
And then they pull themselves away, and we don't hear from them for up to a year, and then suddenly they're back again. And that is healthy.
Yeah.
That is healthy. So you right now, something is happening in you where this just makes sense. There is a healing that is happening, and there's something that is falling into place for you. But it doesn't mean that this is how it is in 5 years.
No.
This is just how it is right now. So I would, you don't necessarily need to be concerned about the future. That is also projecting something on to a place that doesn't exist, and that future is a really, really bad one. It's like you can imagine anything, and then you imagine the worst case scenario. You don't have to.
Also, the thing is, you know, so like for my path, right? I was on the Buddhist slash non-dual path for 20 some years. It's been about 27 years now. And through that period, I had like periods of intense practice where that was like the only thing. And like I went to school for music, and there were periods where absolutely zero interest in music. It seemed like the least relevant thing I could possibly do. The only thing that had any sort of meaning in life or value would be like reaching enlightenment. I had that idea of like sitting, meditating, inquiring, like enlightenment was the only goal. And that would go on for a while. And then I would get totally burnt out. And then I would have to live life again. And I would be playing music, and I would be writing, and I would doing other things that were also fun and enriching, and having like more mental activities and watching movies, and because the complete I had those periods of like asceticism that were just so no TV, no music, no blah, blah, blah. And it was too much. It was too much on one side of the pendulum. And so I kind of would swing over to the other side and counterbalance, and then have all the experience and watch films and all that. And all of that becomes much more enriching for our lives, so that by the time you get back to the practice side, you're bringing in more information. You can see things through different through different viewpoints, through different lenses. So the more you can actually experience the world, the more you can integrate the two. So what I find is like we watch TV, we watch, Netflix and stuff like that. But there's also always a thing where everything I take in is sort of grist for the mill. It's all fodder for talking about this stuff too. So when I'm in these talks or sessions or something like that, I'm always finding that like whatever we watched on TV at some
Yeah.
point is being
It's
somehow
being-
filtered into a new metaphor that works to explain something else, because nothing exists in a vacuum. So if you find other hobbies that you're interested in, it enriches you as a person who is living a human experience. And it's also going to enrich the non-dual side of things, because you're going to have new ways of sort of metaphorically combining all of this stuff together to have new understandings.
Yeah, well, for example, I am obviously very interested in Buddhism and non-duality and awakening, all of that. Obviously, I'm also really interested in plants. And like Todd, he says that then when I'm with my plants and I'm washing the leaves and I'm changing the soil and sitting with the roots, it's done like a meditation. And like Todd, he's really into music. And when he's sitting and making weird music or playing his guitar or doing anything like that, then it's like also part of the practice, it's part of that meditation. So anything you do, just if you're present in it while you're doing it, it keeps being alive. And the concern that you have with your friends and your future and all of that, it's not really taking up that much. It's not really real. You know what I mean? Of course, it's real if you are completely anal about it and you can only talk about non-duality. And when your friends come and say, like, I have this issue with a teacher, you go like, there is no you, there is no teacher. Then you're just becoming an asshole. And so if you like that, then I understand that you should be concerned about your friendship and because that nobody can.
No. But we do, whenever we get kind of hyper focused on one thing, it can be sort of exclusionary, especially if we've had friends for a long time and we kind of feel that branching off in different directions. And it's like, just can't relate anymore because I'm, really into this. And so it's helpful to, well, if you do have friendships that are long running friendships, and, it is possible sometimes people just grow apart, and that is an expected part of life. And it
Impermanence.
Exactly. But it's also relevant to look into how can you also, bridge the gap right now. If it's a relationship that you still want to maintain and there's still something in it, then it's not just that, they have to meet me where I am and share my experiences of being interested in non-duality. How can I reach out and meet them with their experiences of what they're interested in and find that common
How
ground?
can you take your practice into the relationship without mentioning non-duality or awakening at all?
Yeah.
How can you make this an experience for you where you are expanding your insight when you're with your friends?
Yeah, that's really good advice. Like, I realized that, like, with me and my interests, I kind of have neglected my friends and their interests.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I don't even really know what they're interested in because we haven't been friends for so long, but like, so I really need to like dig up on that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like if we go back to the romance thing one last time, like if you guys have like if someone asked you like if you can only give one piece of advice about the romance stuff, like what would each of you say?
But you need to be specific what the question is.
Like, if I said Pernelli and Todd, when it comes to romance, what is the one piece of advice you would give that you think is the most helpful? Like, what would
Okay.
it be?
You should make you happy. It's that there's a sutta that is called the bamboo acrobat. Do you know that?
No.
No. Okay. So it's an old bamboo acrobat. In the old India, they had like bamboo acrobats where they crawled up in the bamboo stick and did lots of acrobatics. And they're usually in pairs and doing lots of things. And there was this old bamboo acrobat. He got a new acrobat to do tricks with him. And the old guy, he was like, okay, so now when we do our bamboo acrobat, I'm gonna focus on you and you're gonna focus on me, and then everything is gonna be safe. And then the young acrobat said, no, no, no. When we are doing our acrobatics, I'm gonna focus on me and you're gonna focus on you, and then both of us is gonna be safe. And that would be my recommendation with every single relationship that you're in, no matter what it is. Make sure that you are meeting you, that you are loving you, that you have strong boundaries, that you are making sure that all your needs are met. You are here for you. There's nobody that is born to do that for you. It's only you who can do that. It's basically, the airplane thing, taking your mask on first, making sure that you are living your best life the way that you want to live your life. And then if you meet somebody else, they will live their lives the same way. And then you can do it parallelly. Parallel.
I love that. And I very much echo that, but I would also say in a similar way that love and relationships are an inside job.
Yeah.
That you will never be fulfilled by somebody else because you are only ever seeing your perception of them. No matter who you meet, they are a reflection of parts of you because you are literally generating your avatar of them in your mind. So if you are not completely okay with the way you are going to project all of those insecurities and all of those problems onto that person.
Yeah.
And if you can't feel that sense of love in you, you will not feel that sense of love no matter how that person is trying to express it to you. So you really have to clean up your own projection system, basically. It's getting really okay with who you are and how you are, and recognize that however you see that other person, you are always making them in your image.
Yeah.
And so if you're not okay with your image, you are never going to be okay with anybody else.
I would like to change my answer and say what he said.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And my last question is, what do you guys think about effort? Like, do you think like 100% effort in the surrender sense? Because like if you're putting in 100% effort, then you're kind of fully surrendered. but like you have to put in 100% effort to be awakened, because like, for example, like I need to maximize my time in reading non-duality books and doing self-inquiry, and make sure that I'm doing something like every, or like doing, or like doing self-inquiry like every second of my day. I mean, not every second, but like every,
I know what you mean.
every 2 minutes, like every 2 minutes, or like every 3 minutes, or like I have, but like it doesn't have to be that hardcore, but it has to be hardcore. Like it has to be hardcore, and it's like you have to devote yourself entirely to this practice, and it has to be like very like in some ways difficult, and but you have to maintain it. Like it can't just be like, oh, like I'm just gonna live intuitively, and like do whatever like I feel called to do, and if it's like just sitting around watching Netflix, I'll do that. And like if it's, but in the hardcore practice, then it's like, no, you have to like be reading, or like doing self-inquiry, or like meditating. Like you have to be doing something. So like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, do you mind?
No,
Oh,
you go.
okay. So,
I
well,
have a lot to say, but
no,
you're
me
probably
too,
gonna
me
say
too.
it.
No, well, so because I've been in those positions too, so I understand. There is a drive that seems to be sparking that need for, hardcore striving. And yes, there are certain benefits to meditation and routine meditation, and there are benefits to inquiry and routinely doing inquiry. There are just, the more you practice these things, the more they get ingrained in the system, the more it changes the neural pathways in the brain, the more all of this is kind of beneficial. However, if you come at it with that basis of striving, if of force, of efforting, ironically, the brain regions which are creating that sense of direct effort and doership and agency are exactly the ones which are creating the sense of self. You are completely defeating the purpose of seeing through self by maintaining that sense of constant efforting and agency. So it's finding that balanced middle way between where you have clearly an interest in this, you clearly have, passion for it. Can the passion be the driver without having that mind come on and say, oh, but you should be doing, oh, wait, nope, you shouldn't be watching Netflix right now. You should be reading this book. You should be watching that video instead. You should be, because it's all of that that is creating this extra tension of doubt and selfing that's making it seem like I'm not okay where I am. I have a goal. That goal is out there. I'm going to improve to get that goal, but only if I work really, really hard. And that plays into a lot of our conditioning, because in school and in families and all that, we get taught you have to work really hard for this thing, and it's on you to do it. Instead, yes, absolutely. If you meditate, if you do inquiry, it, increases the chance. Like I think I forget who originally said it, whether it was Suzuki or who was it originally said it, but that enlightening is an accident, but meditation makes you accident prone. It's that idea that, like, you can't force it. It is something that is happening on its own. The more you practice certain things, the more likely that is to happen. But it is so easy to self-defeat the whole practice by just forcing, and play, like, you don't realize that you're playing into the ego when you're doing that. But it's that, you probably, if you find that you're doing it in the non-dual space, you can probably go back in your life and find other places that you've had that same sort of egoic striving in control. And we tend to the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So we tend to just kind of, like you always say, copy and paste one aspect of our personality onto another. So it's very likely that you have done it in the past, and you are just doing it now with this version of an interest. So it helps to do the practices, but see if you can breathe, step back from it, find if you are truly being motivated to pick up the book or watch the video or sit and meditate or do a moment of inquiry, or whether there's this extra little like third fetter thing going on in the mind that's saying, oh, but you should do it, because if you don't, either something bad is going to happen, or you're not going to get the good, result that you're wanting. And like I had because of my kind of diverse range of backgrounds of interest, one of the kind of most, uh, effortful was when I was getting into Tibetan Buddhism, and you hear those, the parables about how uh, you're really trying to get enlightened in order to escape from samsara and never be, reborn into that cycle again. And it's stressed that this is your sole human birth, that you, like they say, like the likelihood of having this human birth is like a turtle floating in the middle of a massive ocean, and every 100 years it pops its head out of the water. And if there's one life preserver floating somewhere in that ocean, the likelihood that the turtle pops its head up into that life preserver is the likelihood of you having a human rebirth. Then like you damn well better make the most of it. And so that was what was really like this like driving force, but it was so not helpful fundamentally. It got me on the cushion, but it creates so much inner tension and worry and strain and struggle, and ironically reinforcing the ego and the one who could die and be reborn, and the one who it ultimately, had to be let go of.
And what I would do is ask you, to remember that the only feeling you can have is contentment. So when you do not feel contentment in this moment, be curious. What is it that is pushing you to that forcefulness of effort? Because there is right concentration and there is right effort. I absolutely agree with that. But the right effort needs to be not forceful. It needs to spring out of a non-doing, so to speak. And that doesn't come by lying on the sofa watching Netflix and eating potato chips, but that there's a contentment in this moment where nothing is missing and nothing needs to happen. And if you feel a third feather pull towards doing something, be curious, what is that reflecting back to you about? What is it right now that can be improved by reading another book and watching another video and meditating for 2 hours, and maybe you should do 2.5 hours next time? And what is that you're trying to improve on? If everything is as it should be and nothing can change and nothing should happen, what is it you're striving for? Where is that contentment in that moment? Because we would like for you to be in that 9 feather flow, where there's just a natural flowing towards the cushion, or a natural flowing for going for a walk, or a natural flowing for, yeah. So see if you can find into that contentment.
Yeah,
and it's not resignation. It's not resignation. I just want to emphasize.
yeah, there's like this like fine line of like not being lazy, but also not be trying too hard.
Yeah.
The middle way. But like for me, like what this reminds me of is just like, oh, this is not going to be a question. I'm just going to make a remark, but it's just like I've been realizing that like it's all about living the moon instead of living the pointer. So like the pointer is like, oh, like you're human reincarnating, and like you only get to be human like this many times, and yeah, but the truth is the truth is that you're already awakened, or like you're already
you're already
awakening.
Content. Yeah, you're already content. You're already here. You're already content. If it doesn't feel like that, be curious to why.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's about like the absolute side of things instead of like all the systems bullshit that Buddhism has and like Hinduism has and like the saints talk about, like all this like crap that's like, like very much like covering the actual teachings up and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm very grateful to you guys, and I'm very grateful to Angelo and like to recent teachers for like not talking in like bullshit terms, but but like, well, maybe I shouldn't call it bullshit, but it's just like very confusing.
No,
like
I understand what you mean. I completely understand what there's
a
so
lot of
many.
There's a lot of cultural baggage and a lot of a lot of things that have kind of come along with the really useful, pragmatic pointers. There's a lot of dogma, and there's a lot of yeah, like, cultural accoutrement that have kind of
Yeah.
are maybe not as relevant in today's society. That I think what we strive to do is to get really to the useful core of it and make it so it's just available to everybody without having to buy into one particular system or one particular tradition and align yourself with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving.
No,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, I just want to say I can feel I'm really
Yeah.
tired now, and I would like to speak with John as the final one. Would you mind, Vicky, if we take the rest of the questions next time?
Yeah. Sorry, like I kind of disguised my questions as remarks, but like I hope you guys don't mind.
No, no,
Yeah,
it's
thank,
been, it's
thank.
been,
I just want
it's
thank
been
you so
lovely
much
chatting.
for.
You're so welcome.
Oh,
It was lovely
yeah.
to meet you, and I would love for you to come back and ask more questions.
Yeah, I just said thank you so much, and please move on. Please move on.
Thank you so much,
so much.
Vicky.
And
Really been a
happy
pleasure.
holidays and
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. We hope to see you
Hope to see you,
January.
yeah, in January.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, last one.
There we got John.
Hey, John.
That's the patient one we got there.
Yeah, you are.
Oh my goodness. So good to see you.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like a lot of this was very relevant feeling too to me that I'm kind of on the flip side of that. Also, just a quick aside, I think you guys would get a kick out of this. Look what I found in the office.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
So he's been holding my phone for me, and I'm going to set my phone down so he can keep holding it.
That is brilliant. Everybody needs a T-Rex to hold their phone.
You really do.
Yeah, we do. There are too few T-Rexes out there.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been a lot that's happened, and it's all circling around that continuation of the. I'm going to hide my own face here. The continuation of kind of not knowing what to do. Because there was this path, there was this journey, there was these things you got to do and you got to try, and then it just kind of was like I lost interest, or I lost not even interest but capacity to like even motivate to do that. And a whole bunch of stuff has happened in life, and I was on a walk and it was snowing, and it kind of reminds me of like if you took a bag of marbles and you had like a drawstring on it and you flipped it upside down, and then I was walking and I looked at the sky, and it was like the drawstring just got suddenly pulled out, almost as if like everything fell out of me. Into the like just and suddenly there was this just very intense like kind of an aloneness. It was kind of like oh my God, like nobody's going to come save me. Like it's never going to get better. Like I'm never going to fix it.
Yeah.
And, but in a way that was like pre-verbal, right? Like thought,
Absolutely.
thought word kind of caught up and was kind of like, but you don't have to. Like it's just going to be like this. And it's interesting, like there's been kind of echoes of this. Like Angelo put out a video where he talked to this physicist, and the guy's like a physicist and a therapist, and he told his story, and I was like, holy shit, like this echoes my own life story in so many ways. It's kind of freaky. And there was something about the way that they were talking, and it also hit me. I was like, oh shit, like this is already it. Like it doesn't have to be some other way.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because it's like I don't really know that I really have a question necessarily, but it was sort of like something to do, nothing to do. It's just here, and it's like reality has always been the case. Like knowing and unknowing both happen now, and they happen simultaneously. Yeah. And it's sort of like, two sides of the same face, but it's like, I don't know. And there's, I don't know if there's even a notion of something to do, maybe only if I look for a notion of something to do. And so yeah, it's like, it's not clear that it's that same thing. I think, maybe last time or the time before when I asked, it was sort of like, there's this point where it's like, oh man, I should ask someone a question. And then it's almost like it's not a nihilistic pointlessness to the question, but it's not like, oh, there's no use in doing that, like a learned helplessness. It's more of like what are they going to answer that I can't already see?
Yeah.
And in that way, there's nothing to do, but like, there's definitely still reactivity, and there's definitely still getting lost a little bit, but like,
do you believe in it
kind of
when you get
everything
lost?
is.
Yeah, do you believe in it when you get lost?
It's like, it happened the other day. I was walking, I have a new colleague at work, and I was walking around the office and I was talking to him, and there was kind of like a flow, and it was like exuberance and talking and excited, and maybe like too much caffeine, a little hypomanic even. And it was almost like, it reminds me of like an old school, like a slingshot.
Yeah.
Like it was suddenly, the whole everything was doing the talking, and then it's like right back in, like, then there was the me doing the talking.
Yeah.
And it was like seeing that kind of a re-embodiment.
Yep.
And like sort of snap back. And it's not a doing. It's not something, I mean, something happened, but it's not something I did. And that's been a big thing for a very long time, is like, I can't find the one that's supposed to be doing better. I can't, and it's like, any way in which I can believe that there's something to do is just a story now. And they're just less believable, I guess.
Well, that experience of the kind of slingshotting back into the self should by itself be one of those clear indications that there is no inherent reality to that self when it seems to show up, and there's no inherent reality to the selflessness when it's not there. They're effectively, like you said, the knowing and the not knowing are both just different states of being, which are not fundamentally true or real or foundational in and of themselves. You go from one state where there's an idea that, there's a self here who has certain, needs and wants and all of this, story around itself. And then this other where talking is just happening and life is just flowing and everything is just sort of this like ooey gooey, loveliness. Both of those are just these temporary ways of being. There is no self that has suddenly disappeared and then suddenly reformulated and reaggregated itself. These are just temporary moving states of consciousness, just states of being in the world. And it's those ideas about them, right? You have a thought about one that makes it seem like, oh, well, that's the me, that's the John that I remember having been before, and I'm back in that. And now I have thoughts that seem to echo from that reinforce that sense of being, the same thought patterns that you have always felt as being the sort of John selfing mechanism has been one sort of pattern of thinking. And then there's a different pattern of thinking that comes on when that selfing mechanism isn't there. And then maybe there are fewer thoughts, or maybe they're just, less self-involved. Maybe, I don't know what your actual experience of thinking is in those states, but this is just a new way of being, but it's not fundamentally true or fundamentally, it doesn't have any inherent nature of its own. This is just a dynamic state which moves from one back to another. And it's why we're always pointing to one isn't necessarily better or truer than another. But it hopefully, when you experience that, it undercuts the reality of all of it. It undercuts that there is anything stable or inherently existing in the center of either of those two states. You can even notice what seems to be the central point that remembers both of them and recognize that it is just this temporary thought that can come on when the selfing is happening that remembers what it was like when the selfing wasn't happening. But it's just a snapshot of a memory happening in this particular now, right? And when you're not selfing and you feel like everything is just open and flowy and spacious, there might be a memory that comes up that, oh, this feels so much more open and flowy and spacious than it did, a year ago. That's still just a memory. It's a projection of a thought about what was, comparing what it is to right now. Is there any core of John, any core of anything substantial and inherent that transcends both of those states and goes between them to the two? Or can you just see this as a rising of thoughts reflecting back on different states of being as they currently arise and pass?
Yeah, I guess the way that I would put it is that I like when you said the center thing, like, oh, there's a feeling of center here, but like kind of only if I'm looking for it. And it like, or only if it's being looked for or whatever, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
placed,
not
yeah.
even, and then there's a way in which it's almost like that's the doubt, like the need to know to look. And like, but then there's a remembering to look. I don't know, like if there's some kind of way in which like there's a meta conscious framing that's like a thought about how this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And like what's happening there is like seeing that coming and going. And it's been very interesting. I mean, I guess a big framework too was this seeing that there was a suffering or a struggling and like pulling against what is and what could be or what should be. And then I confused the relief that was associated with like being present in a way with like a way of making pain go away. And I think that there was a disillusionment that occurred when it was like, oh shit, like I had then all the efforting had turned into like secretly believing that I'm, going to find the magic place where it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of asked myself, okay, I've had experiences where I was like, where it was open and free and, and it was like, well, how do I know that's not happening now? And it's sort of like that's kind of like the other version of moo, right? It's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's a weird question. Like the question itself is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the right wording, but I think you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah. And you can, in that moment though, notice like there probably is something in the body or the mind which is being taken to be insufficient or uncomfortable or something in those moments when it seems like this isn't what it could be or this isn't what it once was. And use that as a little alert, not that there truly is something that is fundamentally wrong that needs to change, but just what is showing up in the body or mind that is being taken to be insufficient or uncomfortable or unsatisfactory in some way. Because it might just be like Carolyn found, she had a little ache in her stomach, but that can be enough to create that, to trigger that old selfing mechanism, that all of a sudden the body is in a state where something is a little bit off. It turns on that kind of foundational agency mechanism that we have to then go and do something to fix the problem. I think it's like an old biological evolutionary mechanism that we have that is been developed not by accident, but because it helps this biological organism move around in the world and escape danger and get the things that it needs. It's not fundamentally helpful all the time. And the problem is that we believe the thoughts that say that it's real and true, and it's not. But finding those moments of supposed insufficiency or uncomfortableness or any of that, or that say that this isn't okay the way it is, if we can pinpoint, oh, actually, it's that, I'm feeling a little bit lonely right now. There's this feeling of sadness. There's this feeling of tension in the belly, whatever it is. It brings it out of the abstract realm of this moment is not okay, and just, oh, this biological being is experiencing a certain sensation or emotion. Oh, yeah, okay, that feels okay. I can find the contentment in that, with the belly. I can find the contentment in sadness. I can find whatever that deeper thing is that seemed to be there. And, oh, okay, right back there again now.
But it is one of those things that I think is really overlooked in the non-duality awakening world. It's that feedback loop that is happening. And I'm not talking about that there is a self and that there is my body and that is what, and I have all my experiences and all my traumas and all of that. And none of it is real. But there is a biochemical feedback that is happening, that is evoking different emotions based on what tension you have in the muscle. I love Alan Watts. He said that the self is a persistent muscular contraction.
Yeah.
And that is exactly it. That whenever you have the feeling of something being off or not being right, or I am here, or anything like that, you can always trace it to the body. Where in the body do you feel a contraction right now? And if you breathe into it and you do the opposite of that contraction, if that contraction in the belly and you stretch out and you breathe deeply, suddenly it's gone. Because there is no roots in it. There's no reality in it. There's nothing in it. It's just purely biological, endocrinological, neurological, psychological. It's just that. There's nothing more to it. You can breathe into whichever discontentment you're feeling because it's not real. It's just a muscular contraction. It's just the ligaments, the tendons and the fascia that is acting up. That's it. It's nothing more than that. But it's not given the space that we feel that it really needs in the non-duality. Because when we're saying that there is no I, we also need to acknowledge that non-I is attached to a biological being that is moving about and paying bills, right?
Yeah.
So, and that is still connected with a feedback loop purely for survival. It's connected with a feedback loop. For example, when we were sitting and talking earlier, an Amazon delivery was made, but the moment I, out of my eye, saw a shadow by the window, I felt a contraction in my body, an alertness, who's by the window. And that is not because I'm fearful or I'm scared or because of my trauma or anything like that. That is just pure survival. There is something moving over there. There's a rustling. Is it a rope or is it a snake? It's all there is to it. There's nothing more to it. But it's important to remember that feedback loop exists because otherwise we're closing our eyes to how it feels to be in a body. There is nothing more real in it than it's just part of survival. And that is it. So it's not any deeper, but we need to acknowledge that it's there.
And doing one quick little deep dive on top of that too. If you have the experience then where you focus on the sensation and you have that whole experience, but it still feels like you are the one who is focusing, which I think is kind of where, intimating at also, notice, what parts of the experience in the five senses are making up the sense of the one who is looking at the sensations or feeling the sensations in the belly. And notice, there's tension in the brow. Notice there's squinting around the eyes. There's tension in the jaw.
This is how we look when we're focusing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the look of focus.
And then
because I noticed that in the few times that I do a sitting practice where it's like there's a notion that like, okay, let's slow the breath down or not slow the breath down. And then it's a recognition essentially occurring on its own that there's a thought and then there's a set of contractions that correlate to the thought that seemingly occur together in a way that makes me believe that one set of contractions is controlling the other set of contractions.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that my favorite example with that is like you're blasting on the highway and you're going like 90 miles an hour and there's a sign in front of you, so you're leaning forward 4 inches, blasting 90 miles an hour. Those 4 inches give you a feeling of concentrating on reading the sign. but those 4 inches, that contraction in doing it is doing nothing when you're blasting with 90 miles an hour. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing. It gives that feeling of, ooh, I'm reading the sign, as if you are. Ooh, can you see I'm concentrated here? I'm really, really concentrating.
All right, cold showers it is. Because
Yeah.
that's what I realized that was a big one for me, is that when the cold hits, there's this thing where you like do this, and it's a recognition like, that's not protecting me at all. That doesn't
Not
keep
at
me
all.
warmer at all. Like,
Not
No,
at all.
no, it's true.
this does not make the water any warmer.
Nope.
Yeah, and that's just that immediate feedback, and it's very embodied. So
It's
that's the
actually funny
answer.
you're mentioning that with cold showers, because when I'm as an naturopathic doctor, a lot of things that we are recommending for the cardiovascular system is that difference between heat and cold. And when you are sitting into a cold plunge, if you breathe deeply, so you have a slow breath when you get into it, and you exhale when you go under the water, the body and the brain, mainly the brain, thinks that everything is fine, and the experience of the cold is going to be less just because of your breath.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Well, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
John.
man. And
Lovely having
it's
you.
been absolutely lovely speaking with you.
Yeah, and
Every
well
time we
done.
speak with you, it's lovely.
Well done sticking it out.
Digging it
that
out.
long.
4 hours. Well
Thank you
done.
for that.
And may you and yours have
Yeah.
a happy holiday and a
Yeah.
wonderful new year.
Yeah, y'all as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're
We can
done.
remove our. No, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you.
We're
It's
so
been-
happy. Oh my goodness, there's still lots of people here 4 hours in.
Yeah, it's
Well done, you. That is like the champions that are
seriously.
here.
Thank you for
Thank you
everything.
so much. Thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
been an absolutely wonderful year. I just want to say, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah.
We would just be sitting here speaking into thin air. So we are so grateful that there's actually people to talk to, like I said earlier with Ellie, that to me, this is parallel play. This is wonderful to experience this with you. It makes me feel so connected, and I'm so warm in my heart with all of the experiences that you guys share, both here, but also in Discord. I'm so immensely grateful for you guys making this possible. It's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and a very happy
Very,
and
very
healthy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, wonderful holiday and a happy and healthy New Year.
And we look forward to seeing you in January.
Yeah. See you then.
Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.